hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
America's kids are returning to class, in school and at home. And this year, learning is especially tough on students who already struggle with poverty, emotional trauma, and other barriers.
That's where our organization, Communities in Schools, can help. For years, we've had caring adults inside schools, helping these students stay in school.
And now, we are taking our work beyond the school walls, tutoring, mentoring, and counseling students, providing resources for at-home learning,
delivering meals, providing household supplies, connecting kids with online classrooms, and using technology to maintain the one-on-one relationships we know can transform the lives of students and their families.
We are doing whatever it takes to make sure all kids have the opportunity to learn and succeed.
Communities in Schools, going wherever we are needed to help those students who are most in need thrive.
To see how you can help kids succeed, visit communitiesInschools.org. That's communitiesInschools.org.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe.
You gotta fight! ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the next evolution of sports talk radio. The biggest stories and the biggest reactions.
Now.
And now we're taking...
With the first pick.
This is the last ball you got to bat.
The Inside Drive. From college to the pros. Interviews with the newsmakers, sports betting, your phone calls, and more. And now, The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
And good Tuesday morning out there in the Florida Panhandle. You are listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. You can listen live and local on 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 along the Forgotten Coast. You can watch us live or listen live on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. You can also check us out at ESPNPC.com or download that free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. I got a fill-in today. Mr. J is out teaching the Utes of the world. So Bill, our assistant golf professional from Bay Point Golf Club. How are you doing today, Bill?
Morning, buddy. I'm good.
Good to have you on again. It's been a little while, but got you back in the saddle here.
Ready to ride.
That's right. We got a lot of fun stuff to talk about today. But first and foremost, we always want to thank Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor for their studio sponsorship here on the Inside Drive. You can find them at 2251 West 23rd Street in Panama City. The dealership's got lots of new vehicles in stock. Those heavy duties are coming in. Tahoes will be rolling right in here shortly. Trade values are still super high. You can also buy tires at cost. And then visit Kramer Marine and Outdoor for all your boating needs. They are a Yamaha outboard full-line dealer. They do have a Yamaha Master Certified mechanic on staff to get that Yamaha outboard motor working back and getting you back out on the water. And as always, they've got Seabourn Spider boats as well as Sundance, all part of the CRI family. Soon to have those Skeeter Bay boats in stock as well. You can check out all that new and used inventory at KramerMarineandOutdoor.com. BayPointGolfClub.com. Also, don't forget about Bay Point Golf Club. It's summertime. It's warm, but it's a great time of year to play golf. That is for sure. Golf course is in fantastic shape out there. And, of course, we got our next quarter of our local player pass going on. So if you are local with an ID, driver's license, whatever it means, showing that you're local, or you're active military, you can bring that ID in, sign up for our local player pass. You get a free round of golf with the registration fee, and then you play for a significantly reduced round of golf off the rack rates. And you'll get a lot of people signing up for that as of late.
It's one of the best deals in town.
There's no doubt about it. Obviously, we love the vacationers, everybody coming into our area that helps kind of support our economy. Without them, but at the same time, without the locals, we don't have an economy as well either. Also, Best of Bay voting is going on, and we're trying to make it 8 years in a row for the golf course and 2 years in a row for the golf shop category. So all you got to do is go to our Facebook page, click on one of the links, go in there, click on sports and fitness, search golf course, click vote for Bay Point Golf Club, and then the next category is golf shop. Click vote for Bay Point Golf Club. And then, of course, I got to give my wife a shout out, Beach House Sales and Development. They made the top 5 for real estate companies. Go vote for them while you're in there as well. And then check out Real Estate Agent and vote for my beautiful wife, Beth Mulvey, with Beach House Sales and Development as well. And then last but not least, vote for the Coach James Hale Show while you have an opportunity this year, because next year we will certainly be on there with the Inside Drive. We'll use our marketing arm and make some stuff happen. Speaking of marketing arms, we were talking about it a lot as the show was ending yesterday, but the Go to Goat Sports Movies contest that the Afternoon Underdogs have been running is down to the Elite 8. And I was a little disappointed yesterday when we were getting ready to leave the show because Caddyshack was losing to the Sandlot.
What a dagger.
But if David Hayes is back there, we might be able to get an update and see where that is now after I was pushing a little bit out there, including voting myself yesterday into this morning. What do we got, David?
Yeah, we've got a ton of responses going. I don't know how many of those are Ryan Mulvey. But no,
not all of them.
Caddyshack is taking the lead now on Sandlot by a large margin. So my Sandlotters out there, get out there and vote, man. I just posted the link
Caddyshack,
on Facebook.
Caddyshack. Don't vote for Sandlot's look, don't get me wrong. Sandlot is a fantastic movie, an all-time great. There is no doubt about it.
It's a classic.
But when you're going up against Caddyshack,
a better classic.
Simple answer. And the right answer. And I get it. We talked a little about it yesterday. Golf, Caddyshack is obviously a golf movie, but it's a pure comedy as well. It has a lot to do with golf, and it kind of makes fun of the country club atmosphere, back in the late 70s, early 80s. And Sandlot's fantastic too. But if you watch Caddyshack and you watch Sandlot back to back, I'm guaranteeing you're going to laugh a lot more after Caddyshack than the Sandlot.
Solid bet right there.
Yeah, absolutely. What are the other updates? Bill, you probably don't. We're down to the Elite 8. Obviously, Caddyshack is facing off against the Sandlot. All these matchups are good now because they went from 64 movies down to 8. So a lot of people are like, oh, how is this movie not in there? How is this movie not in there? Well, it got voted out because some of these matchups are tough, that's for sure. But we got Remember the Titans, which is obviously a classic drama going up against The Waterboy. How are we looking on that one, David?
This is the first time that I'm actually really noticing because I always go to that Caddyshack match.
Yeah.
That's where the most important update is. But actually, Waterboy is smoking. Remember the Titans right now.
I think it's the same point as Caddyshack.
100%.
The comedy, the endorphins that are released in your brain when you're laughing and having a good time, I think kind of weigh a little bit of a factor into these voting situations. Remember the Titans, obviously, extremely feel-good drama, based on a true story, based on a true story with some, with some liberties there that they do, but a fantastic movie. But I think when you get down to picking one movie over the other, I don't know, comedies seem to always kind of have a little more weight, maybe.
It's entertainment.
Yeah. Definitely. So Waterboy has got a pretty substantial lead over Remember the Titans.
Lead right now. We still got about 24 hours though.
Voting ends tomorrow at noon.
Yeah, tomorrow at noon is when that'll end. Happy Gilmore Major League, kind of the opposite of Caddyshack, or the same type matchup rather. Golf versus baseball.
Yeah,
and Major League has got a pretty substantial lead on Happy Gilmore.
I've been voting for Major League as well.
I might have to hop online.
Yeah, I mean, and that's such a tough matchup because you've got two comedies going up against one another. About 10 years apart-ish, probably. Is that probably fair to say?
Yeah, right.
In Major League, mid-'80s, Happy Gilmore, mid-'90s.
Yep.
So just great matchup. And then so Major League's got a good lead in that one. And then the last matchup is Karate Kid versus the entire Rocky franchise.
And
yesterday, Karate Kid had a substantial lead over Rocky, and now Rocky's jumped out to a 40% lead.
See, and that proves my point that I'm not swaying these votes as myself, because I've been voting for Karate Kid while I voted for the other ones that I was choosing as well. So, but you mentioned too, David, having a great response in this particular round of voting.
Yeah.
A lot of people voting. More people have voted in the Elite Eight than leading up to it combined.
Yeah.
And I can see that.
I would have to actually look at the
crunch some numbers.
It seems that way. I mean, we're closing in on 300 responses to each
vote. That's awesome. Yeah. And again, it's a little easier because you only have to vote on 4 matchups versus 32 matchups.
But we're also sharing it like addicts, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Caddyshack's going to win this whole thing. I'm not done. We're not done yet. We're going to keep pushing this.
And reminder to all of the listeners, everyone out there participating, you can vote as many times as you want to vote. There's no limit, any of that stuff. So go out there, man. If you feel strongly about a movie, make it happen.
AKA Caddyshack.
Watch out for those algorithms now.
That's right. You can pay people to go vote stuff too. Not like personally, but there's some. I haven't done that.
Sounds like you got some background there.
I haven't done. No.
How's that work?
It's elections. You know how it works.
There you go.
This is right up there with it. But so awesome stuff coming out of David Hayes, Kyle Wright, and the Afternoon Underdogs when they're at Dave and Buster's on Wednesday afternoons. It's been a fun topic to talk about. Everybody loves movies, especially sports movies. And you were saying originally this contest was going to be half sports movies and half sports video games, but then all of a sudden you started doing the movies and realized how many sports movies there really are out, and how many good sports movies there are.
Especially as a younger demographic that we are comparatively speaking.
Yeah.
So we caught a lot of flack for some of the movies that we missed and stuff. So there was no chance that we were only going to be able to do 32. I just thought that it would be interesting. And maybe we're definitely doing the sports video games next year. Maybe we'll take the champion of the sports video games and pit them up against the champion of the sports movies here, because that's the whole. That was my.
That's what you're trying to get to.
Exactly. If obviously it's going to depend on the voter, but if you got your choice of Madden or let's just say Remember the Titans, like which direction are you going?
That's tough.
Feels like apples and oranges.
Yeah, it does a little bit, but you can compare anything, I guess.
Yeah,
it's true.
That's a tough one. Would I rather spend 2 hours playing Madden, or would I rather spend 2 hours watching a movie?
For me, it's an easy choice.
Madden.
Easy, yeah.
There you go.
I'm not very good at like sitting there paying attention to movies as well.
You could do both at the same time.
I do.
Yes, that's where the multiple TVs come into
play. Last night I had the home run derby on like the bigger screen, and then on a smaller screen I had the StatCast of the home run derby going. So
nice.
I was nerding out.
Nice. Hey, that's the world we live in now. There's a lot of information you can get. Did you have a chance to watch the home run derby at all last night, Bill?
I caught bits and pieces. Who is the dude? 41.
Oh yeah,
dingers?
Absolutely. The home guy, Rodriguez.
Yeah.
In the first round, which I was going to ask some questions about that. I've got all the results right here. If I can click on the right tab, that's for sure. But yeah, round one, you had, this is not in the order of the matchups, but you had, I think Jay picked Julio Rodriguez, right? Because he went with the hometown guy. We each picked a person. My dumb butt picked Mookie Betts.
Oh, yeah.
And then I watched Mookie got 11 before he took the break, and I was like, man, I could have went up there and hit a couple more.
His wife had all the right intentions by wanting to do that.
He had no business being in there.
Cool, but
and then I
he
picked
knew
him.
That, but it's one of those things, like he didn't even take the time out.
No, he just hit for 3 straight minutes.
And you could see he was getting tired, so it's like, why not take that time out and just see? Because, we know you're not going to get the 440. And I have an issue with that as well. The 440, you get the 2 bonuses, but then you get the participation trophy of 30 seconds.
Yeah, you get the extra one.
Anything. That's absolutely ridiculous. But outside of that, it was a lot of fun watching one of the best guys to do it play the game.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's got 23 home runs.
Oh, yeah. He's having a fantastic year.
Yeah, real game-wise, I mean, he's a monster, but 5'9", like 185 pounds, going up against behemoths like J-Rod and Vladdy Jr.
Absolutely. So, round one, you had Julio Rodriguez defeat Pete Alonso, which was a matchup from the semifinal last year, if I'm not mistaken, which was a battle. But Rodriguez went first, and like you said, Bill, hit 41 homers, setting the all-time home run derby record by 1 home run.
I don't know what was more fun to watch, Adley's first round or...
And I thought Adley's first round was more exciting. I'll get to that in a second. Because,
I
I don't both sides. It's pretty freaking awesome.
I don't want to steal your thunder.
Nah, you're okay. It's all right. Keith stole a little bit of it yesterday. He called me later that afternoon and apologized for the thunder stealing. And we appreciate it. I steal my thunder. Call in. Give us a call. I want to hear your thoughts on all this stuff as well. 850-215-6290. But yeah, Rodriguez, as you said, he hit 41 first-round home runs. His longest home run was 452 feet. Hardest hit home run had 109-mile-an-hour exit velocity. His average home run distance was 404, and his average exit velocity was 101.9. And then Alonso, just a tough task when the guy you're going up against goes out there and hits 41 dingers. You know you've got to push early and push quick. But also, the guy pitching to Rodriguez was just dumping him right on the inside, letting him rip almost every one of them out there.
That's the most underrated, might be the most important thing, is who's throwing the ball to you.
We're talking to Alan and Keith and Jay last night in the text, and as we were talking about Alan, Garcia, his guy screwed him in that first round. Even Alonso, the guy kept pitching him to the outside part of the plate, and even the catcher. I love seeing the catcher tell the guy to speed up.
Yeah.
Catcher should have moved his glove over too. But anyway, Alonso hit from 21 first round home runs. Nobody was really disappointed because he's on the Mets, and you either like the Mets or you hate the Mets. So, but he had a 457-foot dinger. Hardest hit home run was 113 miles an hour. His average home run distance was 419 feet with an average exit velocity of 106 on the nose miles per hour. He's slower paced, and he was without his usual Derby pitcher. And I think the guy was from the Mets, and he just came to pitch. And then the next matchup, you had number 5 seed Randy Arozarena versus number 4 Adolis Garcia. I've been getting better at this. My pronunciation last week was terrible.
We bien, buddy.
Yeah, gracias. Gracias. And then Arozarena, he hit 24 first round homers. He had the bonus round really helped him out. He hit 5 homers in that 30-second bonus round. But his longest home run was 442. Hardest hit was 110 miles an hour. Average home run distance was 405 feet with an average exit velocity of 103.3. Going up against his competitor Garcia, like we just mentioned, the pitcher really seemed to kind of not be working well with him. Obviously, that's crucial in these home run derbies. He hit 17 first round home runs, and he arguably one of the favorites to win this thing as well. His longest hit was that 438, so he didn't get that extra 30-second bonus. Hardest hit home run was at 110 miles an hour. His average distance was 400. Average exit velocity 102.3 miles per hour. And then you had this was I like you were just saying. This is my most excited. I thought this was the most exciting when he did that. Liam was watching a good bit with me, and when he turned around and did that, Liam's like, "Oh my gosh!" So Luis Robert Jr. Defeated Adley Rutschman. Robert Jr. was the second to bat. He hit 28 first-round homers to beat Rutschman by 1, and he got there before he hit 1.
Tied it. Yeah.
Tied it in his regulation. And then he only had to hit 1 to move on.
He was just shooting missiles.
Yeah, his longest home run was 470 feet. Hardest hit home run 112 miles an hour. Average distance 426 with an average exit velocity of 105.6 miles an hour. And then, like we talked about, Adley Rutschman, he hit 27, but it was a very electrifying first round because he hit, I think it was 21 home runs.
Yeah, I want to say 2021.
Left-handed. He hit all 21 home runs left-handed, and then he got to the bonus, which I think, he got the 1-minute bonus, and then he hit 7 home runs or 6 home runs. He might have had 20. I thought he hit 7 in that bonus round. But anyway, and then he went to the right side of the plate and then hit 7 out in that bonus, 6 or 7 out in that bonus
Every
round.
Swing,
smug move right there.
Yeah, I thought that just to do that. And then I was like, I hope this doesn't backfire on him. And then he hit like the first 5 out right-handed in the bonus. So pretty cool. His longest home run was 445. Hardest hit home run 108. Average distance only 398 with an average exit velocity of 102.6 miles an hour. And then you had Vlad Guerrero versus Mookie Betts. Very one-sided matchup in that one, that's for sure. I got thrown off with the seeding, with Mookie Betts being the number 3 seed, which their seeding was solely based on in-season home runs.
Yeah, season home runs, and you had a tie at the top between Luis Robert and Pete Alonso, but because Luis Robert had 25 home runs, or he had 15 home runs that like they used June 15th as like a deadline or something. So anyways, 1 and 2. Yeah. That was how they did the tiebreaker.
So Vlad, he started off first, and he missed 4 straight pitches without a home run, and then he knocked a 453-foot blast on his next pitch. So he quickly got 2 homers over that 440 mark, later adding a 456-foot bomb, and he hit 26 home runs. Longest home run, as I mentioned, a 456-foot homer. Hardest hit home run, 112 miles an hour. Average home run distance, 402 feet, with an average exit velocity of 104.0 miles per hour. And obviously, he beat Mookie Betts, who hit 11 first-round homers. He is on pace for his first 40 home run season of his career, but the home run derby just a little bigger than he is, I think.
Just a little bit.
He couldn't get to that 440 mark. Yeah. His longest home run was 427 feet. Still hit a couple hard ones, 103 miles an hour. Average home run distance, 396. Average exit velocity, 98.7. So I think the only one out of the 8 home run participants with an average exit velocity in the first round of less than 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
When we get back from the break, I know we got a couple minutes for that. We'll jump into the semifinals and the finals. I thought it was a very entertaining home run derby. There wasn't a lot of time in between each batter, which I thought was good, and the analytics you get nowadays is pretty crazy. Now, did the home run derby not used to be head-to-head matchups? Did it used to just be total home runs hit back in the day, like with McGwire and all those guys?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if I like the head-to-head matchup stuff. What do you think? What do you guys think about that?
I like the head-to-head now because it adds that little extra bit of an element. Yeah. And again, I mean, you're hitting 41 homers in round 1. I mean, at that point, I'd just say wave the white flag for everybody else. But I think that head-to-head matchup adds that little extra twist to it.
What do you think, David?
For me, the only thing that I would change about it, I like the head-to-head. I'm okay with the 3 minutes. The first thing I would change was that you don't just get a free extra 30 seconds. No, you hit 440 foot, you get the 30 seconds. You hit 2, you get the full minute, and there you have it. The other thing that I'm not the biggest fan of, but I know that in this world that we live in, and especially with baseball having the pitch clock, but you just can't watch the home runs.
Yeah, that's what I've struggled with.
So it's like if you watch on StatCast, they do a better job of like showing you the swingman or whatever.
And all
it's got the tracer and all that stuff.
Yeah.
But outside of that, it's like that was the fun part about the 10 outs was that you saw every single one. You got to watch the fan catch it, all of that good stuff. Now it's just like.
Yeah, and it's like you watch the counter go, and you're like, is it going to add 2 more, or is it just going to add 1 more? But the simulcast or StatCast was pretty awesome too. But yeah, it's and I think it's good because they don't want it. Used to definitely drag out quite a bit before when they did the 10 out one because you could get a guy just going on like a 15 home run streak, and
Adolis Garcia would have been sitting there forever waiting on a pitch.
Oh yeah, yeah, he would have absolutely. Same thing with the guy from the Mets, but yeah, it was cool.
Yeah.
It was cool.
Pete Alonso had someone else lined up, a travel ball coach that was supposed to pitch to him. Something ended up happening, so he had to get that. I think the coolest one was Adley Rutschman having his dad.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Pretty cool stuff. But home run derby, always kind of an exciting moment in baseball throughout the season.
You know who was throwing to Vlad?
Who's that?
His manager.
Oh,
I did not know that until
like the manager of the team, or like
the manager of the Jays.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
nice. That's cool.
Yep.
I guess whoever's going to put it where you want it and put it there right on that straight line so you can just hit dingers all day.
Nothing like a manager ruining your swing.
That's right. That's right. It's like trying to hit long drives in a scramble, and then you go try to play a regular round of golf. Yeah. You have to dial it back, and it usually doesn't go too well. When we get back, we'll finish the breakdown of the 2023 Home Run Derby and jump into lots of other fun stuff because Bill has no idea what I'm going to talk about today, and we're going to throw him for some loops. You're listening to Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida. We're taking the inside drive.
We're going to talk Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah, did you hear what happened yesterday?
I want to know.
So he had a sensor on the bottom of his bat that had a little plastic cap on it, and when they were playing yesterday against the Nationals manager asked the ump to take a look at his bat because he thought he had something.
Join Ryan Mulvey.
Thank you very little.
Middays 11 to 1 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
This is Joanna with ESPN Northwest Florida with your Tuesday's weather.
This afternoon and evening, there will be a gentle breeze out of the west-southwest, a chance of thunderstorms and mostly sunshine, and 87. A likelihood of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies tonight, about the same at 79. Tomorrow, mixture of some sun and a chance of thunderstorms and a high of 88. This forecast is brought to you by Earthworks of Northwest Florida. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Gulf Coast Aquarium is now Gulf Coast Aquarium and Pet. They have a full line of live reptiles and reptile supplies, including the area's largest supplier of ZooMed products. ZooMed, a family-owned business with over 45 years of U.S.-based manufacturing. ZooMed is #1 in reptile products worldwide and is now available at Gulf Coast Aquarium and Pet, 469 Harrison Avenue, downtown Panama City.
Barbaritos lets you say yes to fresh. If you don't know what to eat or where to get it, well, fret no more. Barbaritos is here to help with its healthy menu, offering 7 meals with less than 500 calories. Barbaritos has lots of healthy options made with farm fresh food. Your health and your family's health matters to us. Come eat healthy at Barbaritos, 23rd Street in the Stanford Station Shopping Center near Academy Sports. Barbaritos, food, community, people.
And now the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey.
We're gonna have a talk.
Tell me what you know. You're out! Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios.
It's a frantic noise.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. Jumping right back into the All-Star Derby semifinals, you then had number 6 seed Vlad Guerrero Jr. versus number 7 Julio Rodriguez. Guerrero won the semifinal with 21 home runs. Longest home run in that one was 453 feet. Hardest hit home run, 112. 416 feet was your average distance. Average exit velocity, 105.6 miles an hour. Average 416 on those 21 home runs. Pretty impressive there by Vlad. Obviously, Rodriguez could not continue that same big output with less than half of what he did in the first round. He had 20 semifinal home runs. Longest one was 426 feet. Hardest hit home run was 107 miles an hour. Average home run distance, 1 foot less than 100 miles an hour, or 100 feet, or 400 feet, Jesus. And their average exit velocity was 99 miles an hour, which brings me to this question for both of you lovely gentlemen. Do you think he did too much in round 1 and it affected him in the semifinal rounds? Go ahead, David.
Yeah, absolutely.
Simple
I think
answer.
he did too
Yes.
much. Well, I mean, not that he did too much, but it's like LSU Florida. And in game 2, what was it, right? Florida just mollywopped LSU.
Yep, and then
you scored all your runs, man.
Yeah.
And it happens like that. You can't sit there and score or hit 30 and be like, all right, I need to slow down here so I can say it. So it's not like he did too much, but end result was, he ran out of juice, ran out of gas.
Well, it's tough to figure out how to pace yourself with a competition like this.
Yeah.
I mean, you want to if you're feeling the flow.
Doing the bull dance, working it.
Exactly.
Yep. Happy Gilmore. Vote for Happy Gilmore. There you go. It's a plug. With your Bruins hockey shirt on as well.
How about that?
Happy wore his Bees jersey when he beat the crap out of Bob Barker.
It's a good. How Happy Gilmore's not going to win, I don't know.
Because Caddyshack is.
We'll see.
If Caddyshack and Happy Gilmore are in the final, I don't know which side of the bracket those are on, but if Happy Gilmore and Caddyshack go to the finals, people vote correctly. We could have an all-golf sports movie final in the Go to Goats competition. That would be fantastic.
Excellent.
I've got a second part of this question. So if you're in the home run derby, it's kind of like match play in golf. Would you rather go first or second? Go ahead, Bill.
I'd rather go first.
Okay.
Yeah.
So for like Rodriguez's circumstance, he just kept hitting homers. So he ended up hitting 41 home runs because he didn't know what Alonso was going to do in that first round. So What do you think, David? First or second would you rather do? I always, in match play in golf, I'd rather go second all the time because you know what you got to shoot for.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
See, if you go first, you can swing free.
That's true. But, you don't know what your number is, and in this circumstance, you went, and you set a record, which is pretty awesome.
Hey, maybe you just don't think.
Yeah, don't think. That's right. Just Rooster, don't think, Mav. Don't think, just react. But they got him through that over the hill and dropped the bombs and then stole the F-14. That was awesome. Great movie.
Tangent.
Great movie. No, this show's all about tangents. That's kind of our MO, that's for sure. But yeah, I think, it ran out of a little steam, and Vlad Guerrero, what do you do in the first round? I mean, we just read it, but, it was able to get to where he needed to get to and then win, and that's where I think it benefited the guy who beat Rutschman as well, as he got to 27, tied him, and all he had to do was hit one more, and he was done.
Yeah.
So that, again, now, like Mookie Betts, he went second, knew he had to hit a bunch and didn't even come close. So it can go either way, that's for sure.
Mookie was just happy to be there.
Yeah, yes.
Absolutely. Now, Mookie didn't want to be there.
His wife was happy that he was there. Yeah. That's for sure.
Smile and nod.
Yep, just smile and wave, boys. Yeah. Smile and wave. And then the other semifinal matchup was Arozarena versus Luis Robert Jr. Arozarena hit 35 homers in the semifinals to help him defeat Robert Jr. His longest home run was 447 feet. Hardest hit was 109. Average home run distance, 407 feet. And 100.7 miles an hour on his average exit velocity. And like I said, took down Robert Jr. He hit 22 semifinal home runs after he beat Rutschman in the first round with that 28 and had that extra 50 seconds or so, whatever it was able to do. His longest home run in that round, though, was 484 feet. That's a monster shot. Hardest hit home run was 113. I'm going to guess that was probably the same one if I had to guess. Average home run distance, 415 feet. Average exit velocity, 103.8 miles an hour. That's a bomb. I'm sure there's been some hit over 500 in the All-Star Home Run Derby, but I don't have it in front of me. But Liam was asking me that yesterday. He's like, what's the longest one they've hit in a Home Run Derby? And I'm sure it's over 500.
I thought they've gone over 5.
I know they've gone
Especially in Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah, the old Mile High City. That's right. And then your finals. I think everybody know who won, but we're going to go through it. You had the number 6 seed Vlad Guerrero Jr. defeating number 5 Randy Arozarena, and Guerrero hit 25 in the finals to win that one. David, you got one? I bet he's got it.
Juan Soto with 520. 2021, Colorado. Trevor Story, 518, also in Colorado. Pete Alonso, same year, 514, also in Colorado.
Asterisk.
So we're gonna have to have a non-Colorado distance and a Colorado distance. That's for sure. And none of this would have happened if they didn't steal the All-Star game from the Braves.
Exactly. We wouldn't be looking at.
It's under protest twice. It's nonsense out there. But Vlad Jr. hit 25 finals home runs. Longest one was 445. Hardest hit was that 112. 108 feet average home run distance. Average velocity 104.6. Arozarena had 23 in the finals, and his longest was 438. Hardest hit was 109. Still with some good stuff. Lost that average distance a little bit in that last round. 397 feet with an average exit velocity of 101.2. First ever time a dad and son have each won the Home Run Derby, with Vlad Sr. winning it back in 2000. I wrote it down, 2007.
Yep.
When Vlad Jr. was only 8 years old.
How cool.
That's pretty, how cool is that?
07, yeah.
07.
Feels like yesterday.
It does feel like, when I watched baseball, I was like, how is Vlad Guerrero Jr. like this old and in the league? And then you realize when he played, we're coming on 20 years ago.
Shh, don't tell anyone.
So I've got your top 5 that were not at Colorado.
Yes.
It's starting with Aaron Judge, 513 feet in 2017 at Miami.
Ooh, sea level and humidity.
Yeah.
That's a bomb.
Number 2, 507 feet. Aaron Judge, 2017 Miami.
I feel a theme.
Number 3, 504 feet.
Aaron
2017
Judge.
Miami.
Wow.
It was Aaron Judge. And I'll let you guess number 4 here. Who was it?
Aaron Judge.
Same year, same place.
Miami. Obviously, did he win? He won the Derby that year?
Yeah,
I would hope so.
Must have had a good night in Miami.
That's right.
I remember that, though, because it was wild. He was hitting them, obviously, 513 feet.
Just,
but that's a big ballpark, so, yeah.
It's a long way for, I was going to say a golf ball to travel, but it's not a golf ball, it's a baseball. So 500 feet, divide that by 3, you're looking at what, 133.3333, repeating with the little bar over the top of it, something like that? Is that about right?
No, you're going to go like $1.60 something.
Buck 60, 6666667. Like yes.
Math on air.
Yeah.
Always good.
Yeah, divided by 3. It's yards, not meters.
Right.
But meters is a little different than yards.
True.
Fun fact. That's why you change your yardage, your rangefinder. You can change it from yards to meters. I had somebody I was playing with.
Golfing across the pond there?
No, I was who was it? I was helping somebody out, and their yardages we were playing together in a scramble, I think, and their yardages were like, they were shooting the yardage, and I was like, that just does not look right. And we played like 5 or 6 holes, and we're not hitting anything close. And then we go and find out the yardage, it was in meters, not yardage, which is not, there's not 3 feet or 3 meters in a yard. There's a calculation in there.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
Yep.
So, yeah, make sure your rangefinder is not in meters if you're playing here.
That's a good PSA for today.
Public service announcement. And also, if you're playing in a competition, turn off your slope because that's illegal.
There you go.
But yeah, so awesome home run derby out there, and looking forward to the All-Star game coming up tonight. It's right on Fox. What time does that start?
Coverage starts right here on ESPN Northwest Florida at 6 o'clock.
That's
I don't
right.
know what time the actual game starts, though.
David worked it out. He's got both the home run. I wanted to listen to just to hear what the radio guys sounded like, and I didn't even think to.
At least one person's on the ball here today.
As a radio guy, I did listen to a little bit of it, but it still is like, I want to go.
Yeah.
I want to watch this.
Were they very exciting?
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
Awesome. That's why I love radio when you're listening to a game, because back in the day, Doc Emmerich and Chico Resch were on the radio for the Devils that I used to listen to in the mid-'90s. Doc is fantastic. Hall of Famer.
Yep.
Hall of Famer, then Chico. Chico was a great color commentator.
The name like Chico, how could you not?
Yeah, goaltender. Goalies are crazy, that's for sure. But yeah, you got the All-Star game coming up tonight. We'll go through the starters real quick on the American League side. You got Jonah Heim, Yandy Diaz. There was a Yadi Diaz, wasn't there? No, it was a Yadier Molina. My bad.
Yadi.
Marcus Simeon, Josh Jung, Corey Seager, Mike Trout, Randy Arozarena. Aaron Judge is not playing, right, with his
he's
toe?
got,
yeah, absolutely. And then Shohei Ohtani, and then you've got all the reserves as well. So I'm guessing one of those outfielder reserves is going to be starting in place of Aaron Judge. Not guessing, that will actually happen. And then you've got a cast of pitchers in there, and then a cast of relievers. But want to touch on the National League side real quick because it's basically your Atlanta Braves. Sean Murphy behind the plate catching. Former Atlanta Brave Freddie Freeman right there at first base. Luis Arez second base. Nolan Arenado. Go ahead,
Arenado.
Arenado.
And it's a rise.
A rise. As opposed to a fall. So you got him at third base. Orlando Arcia, shortstop from the Braves. Ronald Acuna Jr., right field from the Braves. Mookie Betts, probably, is he play center field?
I think they've got him playing center field tonight. He plays center field, right field, second base.
Plays all the fields.
He played shortstop this year as well for the first time
in his career. And then Corbin Carroll from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and J.D. Martinez will be hitting in the DH spot. A couple other Braves. You got Matt Olson, Ozzie Albies, Austin Riley. You've got, who else you got in there? You got some pitchers in there. You got Spencer Strider and Bryce Elder. So 8 Atlanta Braves, franchise record in the All-Star game coming up tonight. I know it's in 4K on Fox, too, if you have 4K.
There you go. I'll be watching it on the old antenna and listening to it on the old radio.
Yeah, you're right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Got some other topics. Obviously, we'll carry this into the next segment as well, but the PGA Live saga continues with a congressional hearing this morning. Tried to watch a little bit of it while I was out there at Bay Point, and kind of the nuts and bolts of this thing. It looked like they were trying to, again, Congress really has no authority to invest private companies and contracts and deals they go into, but the hearing kind of came to be shortly after the former AT&T chief Randall Stevenson resigned from the PGA Tour's policy board, citing serious concerns. Ron Price and Jimmy Dunn were the ones testifying voluntarily on behalf of the PGA of America and this whole thing with the merger between. And nothing has officially happened yet. It's an agreement on a deal. So there's nothing. They couldn't talk about money. They did say it was upwards of more than $1 billion that was going to be invested into this, whatever it's going to look like going forward. But just they were talking about the 9/11 stuff, and some of the senators like, we've got some more serious stuff going on to deal with this. So nothing really came out of it, so to speak, other than there were a few things that did get released. And this was an interesting thing. It was part of the proposal for consideration with this whole deal. It said in a best of both worlds presentation given to PGA Tour leaders, it had Tiger and Rory would each own LIV teams. They'd each play 10 LIV events, and then Yasir Al-Rumayyan would gain an R&A member, so he'd be on the Royal and Ancient membership and all that stuff, and an Augusta National membership. Some other things that were proposed in a best of both worlds is one of the 2 PGA Tour elevated events would be played there in Saudi Arabia. So, a lot of interesting stuff, still a lot of stuff to get figured out. But the PGA Tour was basically defending their position to engage in the PIF. And some of the questions that the senators asked were like, well, didn't y'all think you were going to win the lawsuits? Or, why do you want the lawsuits to go away? They were asking who's the winner in this thing, and Dunn and Ron Price were kind of saying, the PGA Tour is the winners, the golfers, the fans, the charities, all that good stuff. And so you kind of had half the group was like questioning it and wanting to know why they even engaged in it, and the other half was like, we really have no business in talking about this, and it's your deal and not ours.
It's just a slow day in Congress. Yep. They're bored.
They got nothing. There's nothing else going on right now in America. So
pretty much,
let's talk about the PGA. That's typical government right there.
Congressional sports talk.
That's right. What's that when they the whole sports washing thing that they keep saying that the Saudis are doing with this PIF is buying all soccer teams and investing their money in all these places to kind of hide all the humanitarian crimes that they commit and all that stuff. But at the end of the day, the PGA Tour was kind of, in my opinion, the PGA Tour's hand was forced by the formation of the LIV Tour because they were losing so many of these high-profile players, because they had to create these elevated events, and they had to start, they were really bleeding a lot of money and all that stuff, so they had to find a way to get out of it. I still think that the lawsuits came out in the open, there was going to be a lot of stuff that the PGA Tour didn't want out there.
Agreed.
So I think that has a big portion of it as well still. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what all shakes out. I don't think the PGA Tour is going anywhere. I don't think the LIV Tour is going anywhere. I still think those tours are still going to exist, but under one big umbrella of the PIF and the PGA Tour.
What's your best guess for like a timeline with this? How long do you think it's going to take for everything to kind of
shake out and have an actual direction? My guess would be they got to be working hard on it behind the scenes. My guess would be when the PGA Tour season ends, and in between the start of the new season, I think that's when you're going to have some concrete stuff coming out. Right about the same time the football is getting underway.
There you go.
Because they're going to want to be in the news, so they're going to time that up right with college and NFL football getting going. But yeah, one of the other things that came out of it in some of the findings in the deals is Greg Norman will be relieved of his duties on the LIV Tour. I know that's been talked about, it's been mentioned, but it wasn't fact. But yeah, he is no longer going to. But I don't think he really cares, because his whole goal of this thing, he's always been at odds with the PGA Tour. His whole goal was trying to create a kind of a global golf league, which I think that's kind of happening, ? Hey. But you still have these organizations, but they're playing all over the world now.
Sharks still swim while they're sleeping.
That's true. They got to breathe. If they're not moving, they ain't breathing. That's for sure. That is for sure. There's sharks out there, and there's bears as well. Oh my.
I don't know if you've heard this one before, but it was probably one of the greatest radio debates I've ever heard. It's shark versus bear.
I think did we talk about this on the air last week, David?
I don't know if we talked about shark versus bear.
No, we talked about your kitty cat with the baby face and the dog with the human hands. What would you rather do?
Which animal?
Run that back again? Hold on.
So either, I know we got to take a break here in a second, but would you rather have a cat with a human face or a dog with human hands?
Oh.
This is what we talk about when you're not here.
Yeah.
Tangents, like you said, tangents.
I guess the dog.
I think the dog is the only answer.
Yeah.
Because you could do so much. The dog could do so much for you.
That's true.
With the human hands. It's got thumbs.
Yep.
You can open up a beer can with thumbs.
Or a dog standing too? Might as well.
Just the human hands. No human feet.
Okay.
Let's not get carried away.
Right. Why go crazy?
Did have feet with thumbs, man. That would be.
Now he's just a primate.
Yeah,
there we go.
A chimpanzee
with a lot less energy, though, to an extent.
To an extent,
I've never owned a chimpanzee, but I think that would be. I think it'd be a lot of work.
You would think it's kind of like having a kid.
Yeah.
You can't just leave your kid at home in the with some. I don't know if you can do that with a chimpanzee or not. We need to take a break before we go further down this rabbit hole. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point. Listen to Win Your Tee Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach.
You ready to play some high-low?
I'm going to try.
Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club.
I tell you what, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it.
Listen to Win the Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi folks, I'm Tracy at Tracy's Fine Jewelry. Santa called and he asked me to help everyone get ready for Christmas and avoid the stress and rush. So we've stocked the store and slashed the prices. All diamond jewelry 30 to 50% off this month. All diamond rings, pendants, earrings, bracelets, and necklaces. And we are offering free 6 months layaway. Tracy's Fine Jewelry takes the stress out of the holidays. So shop now where Santa shops during our Christmas and July sale at Tracy's Fine Jewelry.
Los Rancheros has been doing it right for 20 years. Los Rancheros brings a top-shelf dining experience to you with the opening of their beautiful new building. Watch all college and pro games on Los Rancheros' 14 large-screen TVs with great drink specials daily from 2 to 5 and during all the games. Los Rancheros, the place for live sports and great food on 23rd Street between Jenks and Harrison.
Ben and Deb Collins, owners of Bay Guns and Gear, have been in business since 2010, offering new firearms and accessories with a huge selection available for your hunting needs and personal defense. Turn to Bay Guns and Gear. They have the weapon for you. Discount pricing. And if you can't find what you're looking for, they'll special order it for you. Bay Guns and Gear, across from Grease Pro at 3115 Highway 77. Visit their website, baygunsandgear.com.
The only place to get sports betting coverage on the radio. Is this legal? Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. It's the Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot air, so hot in here, so hot air.
Yeah, welcome back. David timed that perfectly to hit that by my favorite, Nelly. If you know me, you know I love Nelly.
I need to see you with a Band-Aid under your eye for one of these shows.
next flag football game, adult flag football game.
There we go.
With the Band-Aid on under.
Just one.
Just one? No, you can't have two. That'd be ridiculous.
That'd be ridiculous. How are you going to have two hurt eyes?
That's right. Then you can't see. I can't see already. That's why I got to wear glasses. But you're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Who can guess which direction I'm about to go? Anybody?
Sideways?
Yeah. Crooked. Tour de France.
Oh,
whoa! Yeah. It is going on right now, and the reason why I want to mention the Tour de France is because the current guy who is leading the climber jersey who's got the most points in climbing, his name is it's Nielsen Paulus. He's American. He was born at Eglin Air Force Base, and both of his parents live over there in Shalimar. So he is currently leading the whole thing in the climbing category. My dad loves the Tour de France, and we got him set up with Peacock and got him moving in the right direction so we could find it and watch it. So
there you go.
He'd be proud of me if I was talking about the Tour de France, but that's probably all I'm really going to talk about. But your individual leader as well for the whole thing, the guy who's wearing what color jersey?
Yellow.
There, see? Sports knowledge.
Jay, what's going on, man?
I know. Jay's
you might lose that chair, brother.
No. We can't. Jay's off the wall comments keep this show going. That's for sure. But Woods is the last name. I guess his first name might be Michael. I don't know. But anyway, he's Canadian. And he's on the Premier Tech team from Israel, and he's currently the yellow jersey leader of there. They're on stage 10 as we speak right now on the Tour de France. So it's a long way to go.
I mean, if we're going to go off the rails here, I thought of a good one.
Keep it coming.
So out of any major sporting event, like I've been watching a little bit of Wimbledon.
Yeah.
Just because, it's on TV, sports.
Absolutely. Sports.
Yeah.
If you like sports, you like any sport.
Bingo. What would be an event?
I like bingo, but not that much.
That's true. I mean, that might be tough. That's the Ocho for ESPN for bingo.
Yeah, I guess. Bingo's legal.
That's true. But if you could go attend any sporting event outside of the major four.
Outside of the major four being the Super Bowl, the World Series.
I'm just saying major four sports. So yeah, you got baseball, basketball, football, and hockey. So you got to go attend a sporting event somewhere else.
Whew.
Where would you go? What would you do?
Good question. Now I'm going to take golf off the docket too, because I think Masters would probably be on there for a lot of people. That's a great question. We talked about the running of the bulls.
I was about to say, there it is.
We talked about the running. Was that last week or was that yesterday? I think it was last week.
It was last week.
Yes, we were talking about over there in Pamplona, and at the time nobody had been gored yet.
Hey,
did you know that they kill the bulls after each leg of the run?
I think I knew that.
I did not know
They
that.
go into a real bullfight at the end, and in a bullfight, they eventually kill the bull.
Tapas for all.
That's right.
But
hey.
Yeah, where are the steak tacos at today?
I said none of the bulls, none of the people got gored, but yeah, we're not eating humans, so
bull tacos would be good.
Right?
Maybe next time.
Maybe next time. There you go.
Be a little.
That's a good question, though. I got to think about that for a second. David, you got one that comes to your mind off the top of your head?
I don't know if I would actually like to do what I'm going to say, but maybe to go to a cricket event.
There you go,
To see rugby would also
I was going to say that, yeah, the World Championship and the Rugby Sevens would be pretty cool.
And we could we could do those here, but to go to honestly, I've never been to a pro soccer event. Ooh. And now that Messi's over here and everything, and
World Cup.
World Cup. That's probably the winner.
You got a chance here in 2026.
I know.
Too, man.
Olympics. It's
a solid
which
one,
what event would you like to go to at the Olympics?
Man.
Winter or summer? Let's start there.
Winter.
I think definitely the winter. Soccer in the summer would be cool, but I'd love to go to the hockey in the Winter Olympics. And we were talking the other day about the 1980 with Lake Placid when they beat the Russians in the semifinal game, not the finals.
Correct.
And we enlightened Jay that day. That's for sure. Ooh. I think like going to Monaco or something like that too for a Formula One would be pretty cool.
Oh yeah.
Something I know Formula One's a lot bigger now in the States than it used to be. The Indy 500.
Monaco would be cool. I like that. That's a good one.
Kentucky Derby.
Sure.
That kind of stuff.
Kentucky Derby would be good. For me, for Olympics, it would be, of course, hockey, right?
Yeah.
But then the speed skating
would be
curling.
Cool. Ooh, curling would be awesome, especially if Team USA was going for the dub again.
Yeah, buddy.
How rowdy do you think everybody gets for curling there?
Rowdy.
I would say rowdier than you think, right?
I would hope.
I mean, you gotta cheer the stone down. Right? It's called a stone, right?
I hope
and
so.
You sweep and you sweep the ice. I mean, you can't sweep fast without encouragement from the crowd. That's for sure.
Valid point.
That's for sure. The faster you sweep, the more it moves, right? The less you sweep, the slows it down.
I like that assumption.
I think it's the inverse.
The inverse?
Oh.
Faster you sweep, doesn't that actually... No, you're probably right.
Melts the ice and creates more friction?
There you go.
Which would make it slower?
If anybody's listening that's a curling expert today, call in.
I hope there is one out there, but I don't know.
They're up in Canada.
Yeah. USA.
Yeah.
Gold medal.
Great White North.
That's true.
The heat produced by the friction generated by sweeping melts the ice and produces a thin layer of water over which the heavy granite stone slides more easily since the friction between the stone and water is less than that between the stone and the ice.
And that's why he's got his own radio show. See how
Science.
See how quick he was to that? What
that
a great
good.
answer.
Yeah.
So it does melt the ice, but it creates like a hydroplaning effect, so the stone actually rolls faster. And that's why they yell. You've got to sweep. The person in the back of the box, or whatever it's called, we're going to go with box, is looking to see where that stone's going, and that's how you move it left. Obviously, it's curling as well, and that's how you control where it's going.
I might have to change my answer just for Winter Olympics curling now.
It seems like it sounds like we should form a curling team, to be honest with you.
Did that just happen?
I think it did.
That did.
Well, there's 4 people on the team, so we'll have to include Jay.
Of course.
There we go.
But yeah.
We're set then.
We just need a place to practice. Yeah, ice, curling, knowledge, skill.
Brooms,
shoes, all that good stuff.
Oh yeah, because
it's a special shoes, and you got to learn how to slide on the ice just that whole time. You think you lock your knees, you keep your knees a little loose. Loose?
Yeah.
You always got to have your knees loose in any sport.
You skated, come on.
Yeah, but you're not skating. You're wearing shoes sliding down the ice while sweeping a broom.
I think Jay would be the only one that would have like a real issue.
Tough time with it?
Well, it wouldn't take him a long time at all. It would just be one of those.
There's a good chance he's never been on ice before.
See, but maybe he just won't think about it and just be natural.
Yeah, he could be a curling expert and we don't even know it.
True.
He doesn't even know we're talking about him right now, probably. He's out there with the kiddos sweating.
Ears burning.
Yes. He's like, why are my ears burning? Why am I so cold? But no, that's a great question. And getting back to the question you answered, we get off the curling topic, even though curling is a great time. That is for sure. But yeah, there's just, you start thinking about all these various different sporting events that happen outside of the major ones. The Daytona, NASCAR, Daytona 500 would be cool. Talladega would be cool. A lot of, if you're just a sports fan in general, trying to think of some, College World Series would be an awesome one to go to. That's for sure. What else you got in that noggin,
How many
Bill?
Jello shots would you get if you went?
Plenty.
Depends if Caddyshack wins your competition or not. Caddyshack wins, I'm partaking in the Jello shots.
So it's funny because watching Wimbledon, number one, I didn't know they had a curfew for London. It's after 11 p.m. you got to shut down the match, which I completely forgot about. But
I didn't know that.
I think I'd do the Aussie Open down in Sydney.
Oh, yeah.
Like, that'd be a blast.
Down under, with the toilets flush in reverse.
Hey, go nuts.
That's right. Hey, that would be cool. I know Marvin Colley, who's a member out there at Bay Point, and he's a big-time top amateur tennis player in the world. He's been to Turkey and Spain and all sorts of places the last few years. He's been over in Wimbledon, kind of bucket list thing for him going there, and he's been at center court and all that cool stuff, so I want to get a report from him when he gets back. But yeah, Wimbledon would be awesome. I think if you were to pick one of the French Open would be kind of cool on the clay as well.
Sure. Yep.
But going to Australia, is Australia played on a hard court? I think Australia and the U.S. Open are both played on hard courts.
I think so.
Wimbledon's on grass. French Open's on clay.
Yeah.
The Bahamas is on beach sand.
That's true. Beach soccer.
Pickleball.
Pickleball in the sand. That'd be tough.
Yeah.
That'd be tough. Beach volleyball. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
It'd be fun.
Good thing Jay's not here because he'd have no idea what we're talking about.
Probably not.
Like Wimbledon? What? What is that?
Wembley?
Wembley, yeah.
What about the Tour de France? Like, would you want to go watch people riding bikes?
That'd be tough, wouldn't it, though?
Because it's
so
200 plus miles, so spread out all over the country. Maybe to go to Paris when they finish up would be pretty cool.
Or be in a helicopter
as long
above
as you don't get stabbed. Yeah. Yeah, the helicopter above them would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
That
took a turn. Getting stabbed in the streets of Paris to being up in a helicopter.
It's kind of a thing right now. That's why you're in the helicopter.
I think all Panama City residents that have lived here for 5 years should have access to a helicopter just from the months of the end of May to the beginning of September.
It'd certainly be easier to get around.
That's the whole point
That is
of
for
it.
sure. I had a lot of topics today, but curling seems to be the top one.
I don't know. Are we building a helicopter taxi business? Because it seems like that might happen.
Uber.
Uber. There you go. One of the greatest ideas ever invented just happened right now. A helicopter Uber service called Uber.
Get to the chopper.
That's how you call the Uber. Is you have to yell just out loud to everybody, get to the chopper in your best Arnold voice.
I was about to say, you
gotta do it in the Arnold voice. That is for sure. There's only about 3 minutes left. I don't know how many other topics I can go off on right now, but had a question earlier from somebody that always listens, and we appreciate Don listening. He said, what are your thoughts on scholarships with the NIL? Meaning, should somebody who has a NIL deal also have a college scholarship? Or if they take an NIL deal, should that college scholarship be given to a walk-on or somebody else like that? And then also, going a little further, if you sit out in a bowl game or whatever it may be, should you have some kind of repercussions with that kind of stuff? As he is a booster and a season ticket holder at one of the universities, you go to see everybody play. We can jump into that real quick and carry over, or whatever you want to do. What are your thoughts on that, Bill?
I mean, I'd say spread the wealth. So if you have the scholarship and the NIL, give the scholarship to somebody else. And same piece too. If you're not playing in a bowl game, why?
Yeah.
I mean, be in the present. I know you're looking to your future because you have, potentially millions by millions of dollars at stake. But end of the day, play in the games.
Yeah. I agree with the playing in the games, that's for sure. The only thing with the NIL and the scholarship is, now are you paying for your college with that NIL money?
See, that's where it's
it's very gray.
Shouldn't there be a limit on, or not, maybe not a limit, but so if you're only getting and I say only, I would love to get 50,000 or so NIL. I don't think that you should have to pay for your school at that point. but like if you're getting $1 million plus, then I don't see what the issue
they'd
would
have to
be.
categorize it because, or does we get to the point where, we got to talk about the schools just, paying the athletes to be on the team?
I don't know. I mean, it's essentially
It's
that's what
happening,
it feels
Yeah.
like. So it's so hard to really put my answer into words, or I guess it's because I bounce back and forth so much, because I'm like, it is a great thing for the kids, especially some of the kids who are coming from areas where they're never going to see that type of money without this. So it's like, why wait 3 or 4 more years to start helping mom and dad out now, or start 3 or 4 years to be able to help out mom and dad if you can do it now. So that's, I don't know, I bounce back and forth because I think it's a great thing for the kids, but I think that it also gets exploited to a certain degree, and you don't all got not all these athletes have parents like Cooper Manning, who's like, look, until you're the starting quarterback for Texas, you're not getting any NIL money. Don't do any NIL deals.
Yeah, and that's a tough one because he's coming from the Manning family.
Right,
yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's very tough, but I do think that these universities do make a ton of money off of these kids' name, image, and likenesses. So it's like, if Bay Point is making, getting more consumers, golfers, because you're there, then you feel like you're a part of that.
That's right.
You know what I mean? So,
and if it would have done the original intent where they could use their name, their image, and their likeness to make money with jersey sales and cards and appearances and stuff like that, I think this whole conversation would have been. But there was no guidelines, so it just went to the wild
west.
Absolutely. Don't forget, coming up at 12:40 to be your next opportunity to play high-low to win yourself a round of golf or two at Bay Point Golf Club. All you got to do is guess the number between 50 and 100 of how many gourmet potatoes with tasty toppings did the break room on Joan Ave serve this past weekend. Now, if you really want to win this thing, you can go in and check out the live stream on YouTube or Facebook and go back and find that time mark to see what the 4 guesses have already been this week, because it's getting narrowed down pretty good. I'm not going to give you the hint on where it is, but again, that's coming up at 12:40. We'll give it to the 10th caller. When we get back, it'll be the top of the hour and a little bit of an afternoon delight here on the Inside Drive. You're listening to us on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida. It's the Coach James Hale Show.
So we're like, how do we make these big TVs out this door? The roller was screwing up. So what we did, we made Glenn get down on all fours. We laid it on his back. He crawled. He crawled. We held it on each end as he crawled with that on his back. Then you ought to see him. He did like a full front squat.
Weekday morning 7 to 9. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze out of the west-southwest at 11 miles per hour, and look for it to be 87. Tonight, there will be a possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 79. A mixture of some sun and a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow with a high of 88. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle, you can find all the necessary items for an unforgettable fishing experience. From pin rods and reels to the best hand-tied rigs in Florida, we have it all. With the help of our friendly and knowledgeable staff, you can be sure that you have the right gear to make that big catch. Come experience a great local bait and tackle shop located directly off 98 on the west end of Panama City Beach, located just 5 miles west of Pier Park.
WGSX Lynn Haven, WTOT, W271DM Mariana, WVLQ Port St. Joe.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Mid-South Lumber, where they treat you like family. Locally owned and serving the residents of Bay County for over 45 years. Visit their feed store at the Youngstown location for all of your livestock feed, plumbing, electrical, lawn, and garden needs. They also carry local Chautauqua wines, baby chicks, and a full line of poultry supplies to get your chicks started off right. Mid-South Lumber, the biggest little lumber yard in Panama City.
Welcome to the Inside Drive, the next big thing.
It's a big, huge, giant deal.
Sports betting, huge reactions, Your calls and real-time coverage of the stories you're following. Broadcasting from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
Rockets in flight. Afternoon delight.
And welcome back. You are listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. It is the second hour here on The Inside Drive. We are sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine and Outdoor Studios. As always, 104.3 in Panama City, 101.9 along the Forgotten Coast. And you can always watch us on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. Just search ESPN Northwest Florida. Visit that ESPNPC.com. Click that Listen Live button. Download our free mobile app inside the Google Play or Apple Store. Just search 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida. Go visit Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC or Kramer Marine and Outdoor over there at 2251 West 23rd Street. Lots of good vehicles in stock, new boats, all that good stuff. Don't forget to vote Best of Bay as well for Bay Point Golf Club, Bay Point Golf Club, Bay Point Golf Course, Golf Shop. You've also got Beach House Sales Development, Real Estate Company, Beth Mulvey Realtor, Coach James Hale from The Morning Show. Vote him for radio personality. I know Kramer is also in many a category, but vote your favorite businesses as well. Ooh, we got another caller on the line, and I may have some questions for him as well, as I had some things lined up, but your questions have been great, Bill. Caveman Rick, how are you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. What about you guys?
No, we're doing good. Hanging out here in the studio and, just talking about curling and all that fun stuff.
Right on. Well, I heard you guys talking about bullfighting earlier, and I got a comment for you guys about that. You made the comment where basically you were like kind of emphatically saying that they always kill the bull. That's not true, though. The Spanish-style bullfights are the ones where the bull is typically killed, just get its throat slit, and they stick the darts like in its neck as they're toroing with the cape and whatnot. But I'm of Portuguese descent, and where they do is whether the bullfight is in the arena or in the streets, they don't kill the bull. Afterwards, they just put the bull back out the pasture, especially if it's like, I don't remember if you guys remember the old, I think it was like a Disney cartoon, or maybe it was like a Warner Brothers, but it was about a bull that was like a really good bullfighting bull, and it was like put up in the pasture, and they would take it down, and they like it would have like really good bullfights. But some of those bulls are known for that kind of stuff, and then they'll just pull this bull out just for these big events, just because it's known to be like a cool bull that people like to, I guess, for lack of a better term, mess with or tease and try to not get gored by. But and then they wear like the same kind of style stuff in the arenas, the cape, the suit, the hat that kind of looks like the James Hale Quaker Oat kind of hat.
Nice.
If you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, yeah. So the one going on right now is the one in Spain. Is that in Pamplona, Spain? So that's
in the streets.
Okay, and that's the one where I think I read where they end up after the bulls. They get 6 new bulls each time, and then they run each leg. I think there's 7 or 8 legs or something like that, and that's where the bulls end up at the end getting, because they're Spanish bulls. But you're saying the Portuguese ones, they do not.
No, and I guess the Spanish, I'm not picking on Spanish, but they were the, imperialistic people that went around the world and, conquered people and, slaughtered people. If you didn't, change to their religion and to, their belief system and the way they did things and conformed, and basically, you didn't get to live. So not surprised that they just, killed a bull at the end. Hopefully they feed a bunch of people with the bull, though, and, do good things with it.
Yeah, absolutely. That would be a positive coming out of the story there. So does the Portuguese do a running with the bulls as well, or is it just the bullfighting in the rings?
They don't do, as far as I know, running like they do in Pamplona, but they do, like I said, have the bullfights in the street where they'll pull the bull out, and it's just one bull. They don't, normally have, 5 or 6 or, a whole stampede of animals. And, each town, on the islands where my mom's from and on the mainland over, mainland of Portugal, the small little towns, they just, have little events. And then, everybody from the town comes there, and that's what, they do for that given day. So they bring the bull there, and then I don't even remember how long. I lived overseas over there for 8 months back when I was 15 years old. But, there's a certain time limit, and then after a while, they get the bull wrangled back up, and like I said, go put it back out in the field, and then everybody, drinks and eats and parties and has a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't realize that there is two separate types, so I appreciate you kind of letting us know, because I did a lot of research last week when we were talking about the running with the bulls, but that's specific to Pamplona there in Spain, and I guess it was like 1.7 million people go to watch that every year. But like you said, too, it's kind of a giant party afterwards, but a little sad, more sad if you're the bull in that particular one.
Right. But like I said, at least the Portuguese ones, man, the bull, gets to live in the end. So it's a good story for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you were to choose one of those to be involved in, it sounds like the Portuguese bullfighting is maybe a little safer for the human.
Oh, definitely. When I lived there, I was a military dependent, and one thing they do, because obviously they don't want the military guys or their families to get injured, it's like imperative to understand that no, military people or their family dependents can get involved. Like it's not family there. So we weren't even allowed to be on the street. Like, a few of them I was at, like my uncle's houses and stuff, they have big verandas and whatnot. And we'd be sitting up there, up above the street, like a story above. And then you can see what's going down, down below you.
Huh. Man, it sounds like, we're talking about, Bill was asking earlier about, non-major sporting events to go to, and we kind of got off on that little bit of a tangent, but it sounds like that may be kind of a cool one to do and hang out and enjoy the festivities, knowing that the bull's not going to be toast at the end.
Oh, yeah, and they have those road rally races, too, like they do in those European towns where you're going down the cobblestone streets, and like how you might have seen in movies before where, people's front doors are literally like a step away from the road, because these homes are 400 years old or whatever.
That's cool. Kind of reminds me of playing Gran Turismo back in the day and kind of doing that kind of stuff. But
no doubt.
But yeah, anything that was good stuff. We appreciate you. Anything else you got? I'm going to give you a little fun fact, being the Philadelphia Flyer fan that you are. When JVR was a freshman, he played at Del Barton High School in New Jersey, and I was a senior, and we actually played against each other in ice hockey. Little fun.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Little fun fact for you there.
I got a little fun fact for you too here about Panama City. So if you go down to Dusty's Oyster Bar.
Yeah.
Used to be owned by Dusty Rhodes, the wrestler. He sold it to a guy named John, right? He still owns it, from what I believe. John played minor. He played hockey, and he played on a minor league level, and I believe he played in the AHL, I believe he told me.
Wow.
And he played against Gordie Howe.
Man, got to get him on.
And he's got an earring that's actually a hockey stick that's gold with a diamond puck.
I've seen that before, because he used to play a lot of golf out at Bay Point.
He says everybody thinks it's a golf club with a golf ball, but I noticed that it was a hockey stick, and then that's when he and I started conversating, and that's when he told me about the Gordie Howe story. Because I used to hang out there back in the day, and used to have a good time when I was first being able to drink.
Yeah,
and eat oysters and whatnot.
It's a good spot. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it is.
There's no doubt. But yeah, anything else you want to?
No, I got you, man. I just figured I'd talk to you guys about the bullfighting, and let everybody know that it's not as brutal as maybe everybody thinks, and just kind of educate people.
Yeah, I appreciate you. Yeah, and who would have thought that the bullfighting conversation would have sparked more bullfighting conversation?
Going to Portugal now.
That's right.
Skip Spain. Go to Portugal.
Hey, Tim Braddock from Bay Breeze Bait and Tackle. He's getting married in a couple weeks, and he's vacationing out in Portugal and the Azores.
I heard that on the afternoon underdogs on the Friday, because I remember he was already scoping out the spots to go fish at and all that stuff.
Yes, sir. Yep.
That's good stuff. Going to have to head over there to Portugal here sometime soon. But Caveman Rick, we appreciate you. I look forward to hopefully seeing you at the ESPN Northwest Florida Fantasy Football Draft.
Oh, no doubt. I'll be there.
Oh, absolutely. Looking forward to it. That's for sure.
All right, good talking to you guys, man. Have a good rest of the show.
Thank you, and appreciate you listening.
No worries. Thank you. All right, bye.
Bill, you've been to Spain, right?
Oh, yeah.
España?
Sí.
No bullfighting when you were there?
No.
See, and that's the beautiful thing. We don't always have to talk about all these major sports, and you talk about some of these other sports, and it sparks more conversation. Nobody's called about curling yet, though.
That's true.
What about the guy that's always posting on your Facebook post or whatever? Like, are you going to talk real sports?
That's Charlie Breitenbach. Yeah, he's an interesting fella, but a good dude for sure. He's just always busting.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
He's a big Braves fan.
Cool.
He's a big fisherman too. Fisherman. No, he's a good one. That's for sure. We hung out on 4th of July.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Good stuff. All right, I've got some questions for y'all. Didn't get to it. I wanted to get to it last week, but I think David kind of jumped in it last week on his show. But if you had to play golf with a foursome of your choice, whether it's athletes, celebrities, who would it be? I know that's kind of putting you on the spot a little bit because it could go so many different directions. And it doesn't have to be golfers. I mean, literally can be, any type of celebrity, historical figure. It can be an athlete, whatever it particular may be.
Now I'm going to jump right in.
Go for it.
Golf with some of my Boston Bruins at this point.
There you go.
Bergeron, find out the scoop, if he's retiring or not.
Yeah.
Got to throw Marchand in there.
But you learn a lot when you're on the golf course.
That's true.
That's for sure.
And then I got Lucic back. So Luch.
Yeah, I saw he's back. It's like bringing the boys back together.
Bingo. So there we go. There's my 3. Done.
Yeah. That was easy.
Yeah.
That was easy. Keeping it on one team. David, I'm going to put you on the spot while I'm thinking. I think you're right. Are you writing them down back there?
I'm to the point now where I'm just looking for the third. So I'm going to mix it up here. I'm going to start off with Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
Adam Sandler.
Yeah, no.
Adam Sandler.
Such a good one.
I would take him as the character, too. That'd be fun.
Yeah, that would be really fun.
That would be awesome.
Then I'm going to go to spice it up a little bit, maybe put an athlete in there. I don't know if this athlete has a good golf game or not, but Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah.
Well, I don't want him to have a good golf game, though, because I want to be better than one of the people there.
You go.
So
there you go.
I want to finish third, not fourth. And then last but not least would either be one of the Braves' big 3 pitchers from John Smoltz, Greg Maddux, Tom Glavine, or Chipper Jones.
Gotcha. Ooh, that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
That is for sure. Adam Sandler was one of mine because I know he's a golfer, and it'd just be hilarious to spend 18 holes of golf with him. My second one would be Marty Brodeur, just because he was probably my favorite athlete growing up. I know a lot of hockey players do play golf, and he does play golf too, and would just love spend 18 holes of golf with him. That third one's always a tough one.
It is.
You can go so many different directions.
I almost went Ronald Acuna Jr. because so here's my reasoning behind that. They did this little thing where if they had it was a video where all the Braves were coming up and just doing like a little putt or whatever. Well, Acuna Jr. got up there and didn't even know how to hold the putter and just hit it off the mat.
Yeah, that's probably fairly common. That's for sure.
Well, a lot of the other guys though, especially the pitchers and some of the other players had a pretty good stroke on them.
Yeah, those pitchers, that golf thing, pitchers kind of goes hand in hand. I think I'd have to pick a 49er. I'd love to go back in the well a little bit, but I'd probably do like a George Kittle or a Christian McCaffrey.
What about Shanahan? I feel like he would be fun to pick his brain.
Oh my gosh, especially for that would be fun.
And if you had another big like Sean McVay or a Mike McDaniel or something
this
like
could go
that.
So many different directions.
Oh man, we would just be nerding out. And then think about the direction your playbook for Team Dynasty goes after that.
Yeah,
unstoppable.
We do model a lot off the West Coast style of the Shanahan offense. A lot of motion.
It's great for flag football too.
It is. As long as you don't push the routes too far down the field.
Yeah,
because you got to have some close in stuff in flag football and a lot of motion behind the line and all that jazz. Speaking of flag football, we do have a game tonight.
Let's go.
We are playing the Wolverines at 5:45 over there at Frank Nelson Park, and we got another game on Thursday. 2 games this week, and then 2 games next week. We match up with the Patriots again next Thursday.
That's going to
be the last game of the regular season. Probably the top 2 seeds in the league in that one, and we lost to them 7-6 in our first matchup.
But you were missing a big part of your team as well, right? Didn't you have a player missing?
No, that was the first game we were missing. We had our full roster for that one.
Okay.
Yep. But the playbook has since changed.
Yeah, and if you're driving down 23rd Street around that time, I would definitely implore you to go check it out. Because
it was awesome. You stopped by last week.
Yeah,
kids appreciate it.
Keep your head on a swivel, man. You've got games all around the whole entire park. And a big shout out to all of the officials. Coach Olds, who's a big-time supporter of this station here. He does a lot of officiating around the city in general, and him and his 2 boys were out there calling games. So, man, I felt like I was walking in the softball field because I knew just about all of the officials.
A lot of those guys, they do the basketball, they do the flag football, they did the Sudeth baseball league. A lot of them were there too. So you got this core group of youth officials, and to be honest, without those guys, we wouldn't have youth sports leagues, or adult sports leagues for that matter. Because without officials, you don't have games, and it is it's no easy task to be an official in youth sports.
You can have the games, you're just going to have 10 times the argument.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely, chaos, pure chaos. That is for sure. Celebrity foursomes. That's good stuff. I had an opportunity when I was at Mount Vintage during Masters Week. Probably I hadn't played with a ton, interacted with several, but had a chance to play with Herm Edwards and Joe Carter during Masters Week, and that was a blast. Just talking with Herm Edwards and all that stuff, and we tried to get him to wear one of our polos on the air, but he never did.
Did he play to win?
No, he was the worst out of the three.
He didn't play to win the game?
No, he played to win. He did, but he didn't win. He didn't win. Now, Joe Carter, on the other hand, is a heck of a golfer. Hits the ball a mile. We both played from this. I think he shot. I actually played pretty well that day. I used to play golf back then. And then I think he shot 2 or 3 over. And, it was pretty cool. Joe Carter in the Phils.
Wow.
And winning the World Series.
That's
Montreal
cool,
Expos.
man.
Yeah, it was neat.
Tony Dungy and Herm Edwards, to get those two on the course at the same time, that would be,
yep.
Feel like you get some fireworks.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt. But yeah, that was neat. So yeah, would love to, Kyle Shanahan would be a great one.
Yeah.
That was a great point. Just because of the questions you could ask. Because that's the thing about when you play golf with people, is you got 4+ hours that you're spending together. And a lot of times, especially out at Bay Point, we pair people up because we're so busy that you get to meet people that you may have never met before, and the relationship can kind of continue on past that.
It's a double-edged sword.
Oh yeah, it can be if you get.
But 9 times, or let's say
more often than not,
out of 10.
Yeah.
You're running into really cool people, and you might create a relationship out of that, whatever. But then you have those times where it's like, I'm about to just leave.
Yeah. Well, do you see some of those Instagram videos and stuff like that where you got a guy that's taking 3 minutes over the swing and stuff like that? Luckily, everybody moves pretty good out there at Bay
Or you
Point,
get
so.
someone who's just like, look, some of the people, myself, I'm normally in the triple digits, right? So I'm not going to be a stickler to, where the ball goes out of bounds. I got to make sure I'm right there. No, I might just drop the ball wherever I feel like it and hit it from there.
Yeah.
So shut your mouth and mind your business.
Yeah, that's right. And that's it's very social out there for sure. And I remember we had a hole-in-one a couple weeks ago with 2 guys that knew each other and got paired up with a single. And I think it was the single that had the hole-in-one. Oh, nice. And they became pretty close, and they played golf again the next day or something like that. But we might be getting a phone call here pretty soon, and we may have another answer to a foursome. One of our regular callers, Mr. Alan Sandage, I believe is on the line. I could be wrong, but it should be some good stuff for sure. But probably if you were single and that kind of stuff too, you might throw some names in there as well. That like a Paige Renee or somebody like that. There you go, Dave.
Paige Veronica.
Yes. Oh, I saw David's eyes light up back there. That's for sure. Alan, you out there?
Yeah. What's up, man?
Hey, how are you doing?
I'm good.
We got a break coming up in a minute, but we'll hold you over probably if that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just in the bunker. It's all good.
In Das Bunker. So, you got an answer for your celebrity foursome in golf out there, or whatever you want to call it, celebrity?
I absolutely could not play with Kyle Shanahan. I can't play with any football people because I'm gonna we would fight. Michael Jordan would be one.
Yeah.
Charles Barkley, because I'm pretty sure I'm better than him. And then those 2 are friends. And then probably Obama, because he's kind of funny.
Yeah. He plays golf too.
And then everybody's gonna laugh about this, but Trump, because he's funny.
Trump and Obama in the same foursome, that would be great, bro.
I would have the best time just sitting back and listening to these different personalities go back and forth.
That'd be a good fivesome too. We'd allow that one. We'd allow that one.
Yeah, I'm not going to play. I'm just going to drive the golf cart.
You're just going to ride around. Absolutely. Yeah. No, that would be fantastic. That'd be fantastic. Jordan and Barkley would be a good time too.
Oh yeah.
The more you get guys ribbing each other out there too, that'd be awesome. But yeah. So what did you think of the home run derby last night?
So I got to watch most of the first round, and then I had to do a podcast. But I thought it was entertaining, man. It was very competitive, which I had expected. I just feel kind of bad for Adley, man. He really came out and just amazed.
He showed out, and then you lose.
Yeah, and then Luis was like, "Yeah, no," but. Like I told my friend, I was like, "Welcome to the big leagues, kid. This is how it is. Some of these guys can really hit."
Man, just pure power and making it happen. That's for sure. But Garcia, we talked about it earlier on the show. His pitcher really seemed to let him down on that one.
Man, looked like me throwing BP. I've thrown BP. I've trained some kids for baseball. I'm not the best at it, so I totally get it. But if you're that bad and you're actually his pitching coach, then it explains why the Rangers can't hit with runners in scoring positions.
There you go. It all was shown with the pitcher throwing the BP in the home run derby. But yeah, I was thinking, I was watching, man, the pressure on those guys, pitching, obviously there's pressure on the hitters, but, it's a three-part thing there. It's as much of a team effort as it is just the batter, that's for sure.
Yeah, and, you got to get the rhythm down, and you see the batters, like, telling guys, like, inside, outside, things like that. I would imagine, especially when you're chasing the deadline, it can kind of mess with you a little bit. But, these are professional BP throwers, essentially. Like, this is what they do all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm almost like, I don't feel bad for you, because what was... Alonso, that was his dad, right, pitching to him? I'm sure his dad hasn't thrown to him in forever, but, I mean, they were able to figure it out and win, too. So I'm like, come on.
Well, and Alonso had a tough go, too. He kept throwing him so many outside. And he was just not hitting a bunch. And he had to go up against 41 home runs, too. So that's always tough.
Part of it.
It's always tough, that's for sure. When you're chasing a number, it's a lot easier than or a lot harder than setting a number. Unless you're.
I know Vlad was sitting over there just kicking himself laughing, like, yeah, now you see how it feels, huh, sucker?
No doubt. That's tough. Hey, Alan, we're going to take a break, but if you got time, we'll hold you over because I want to ask another question to everybody as we're approaching that Blast at Bay Point coming up at 12:40 here Central Time. You're going to want, in the next break, you're going to want to give us a call. 10th caller is going to win 10th caller, if the high-low question is correct, will win a twosome at Bay Point Golf Club. But we have consolation prizes as well. You're listening to The Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We'll be right back.
It's here. On 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app version 2.0. Now featuring ultra high fidelity. You'll feel like you're in the game. More opportunities to win weekly prizes from local businesses when you click it to win it. Download the 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida app today at Google Play or the Apple Store.
Good afternoon. This is Joanna on ESPN Northwest Florida with your forecast on this Tuesday. Mostly sunshine the remainder of the day with a gentle breeze out of the west-southwest at 11 miles per hour, and look for it to be 87. Tonight, there will be a possibility of thunderstorms and partly cloudy skies with the temperature reaching 79. A mixture of some sun and a chance of thunderstorms tomorrow with a high of 88. This weather is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for listening to ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family has movement that inspires, and we invite you to test drive the new 2023 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You can command the road in a sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Drive away today in a new 2023 Rio, Forte, K5, or Stinger, and discover the all-new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. Peace of mind you can trust at your local community dealer, Bill Bird Kia. You know the break room for the best pool tables in Bay County. But did you know they now serve delicious food? Check out the break room's daily lunch and dinner specials like spaghetti and meatballs, meatloaf with mashed potatoes, air-fried chicken, and more. Plus the best burgers, hot dogs, and you gotta try the Sammy of the day. The Break Room on Panama City Beach at the corner of Joan Avenue and North Lagoon. For more information, check them out on Facebook.
Chef Ross here. We're open daily at 11 at the Break Room.
Coming in hot.
So hot.
It'll be a hot one. Really hot. Goddamn.
The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey. Live from the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Shout out to Jay Henley. His theme song has just been played here on the Inside Drive, live on ESPN Northwest Florida, sitting inside the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. Don't forget, on our next break, you're going to want to be the 10th caller for a chance to play high-low to win a round of golf for yourself and a guest right there at Bay Point Golf Club. All you got to do is guess how many gourmet potatoes with tasty toppings did the Break Room Room over there on Joan Ave serve this past weekend. If you've been paying attention to the show, you should have it narrowed down between, what's that, about 17 numbers it could be at this point if you've listened to the other shows. But you'll want to be that 10th caller, and you'll have a chance to play high-low here coming up on the next break. Alan, I was going to ask these guys, but having you on this one too will be kind of fun. I was going to ask, what is the hardest position in sports? Obviously, quarterback probably comes to mind for most, so we can maybe take that one off the table. But what are your thoughts on that particular position? I know you are a athlete, high level athlete. You've trained people, all that kind of stuff. So, love to hear your thoughts on this one.
In team sports.
Yeah, golf. I'm going to take golf off the table too, because I think golf is the most difficult sport to play at a high level.
In team sports, man, I'm going to say goalie in hockey, man. Them guys are,
that's a good
studs.
One. That's a good one.
You got to be super flexible. You got to have crazy reflexes.
And you got to be crazy.
There's so much going on in front of you. Like to see the puck through all the traffic a lot of times, and, people are, legitimately trying to keep you from doing your job. Whereas in, soccer goalie's pretty tough, too. But, they're more inclined to call penalties and protect you as a soccer goalie, whereas in hockey, man, some of the games I watch, I'm like, dude, you gotta fight him afterwards.
Well, and Bill and I both played hockey growing up and can certainly attest to that. And especially back in the 90s, the game was so different. I mean, the guys in front of the net, you used to get the crap beat out of you and that kind of stuff. And the goalies used to hack the back of your legs and all that stuff. But yeah, being a high-level goalie, I mean, like you said, your reaction time has to just be unreal, not only flexibility. That's a great one.
Goalie's a good one.
I wasn't even thinking about that, but yeah, goalie, fantastic. That's why I want to play with Marty Brodeur. My foursome, that's for sure. What do you got, Bill?
I always think, if you're a closer in baseball, that's just, you're always going in under pressure. And then if you have, a couple bad runs in a row, you just got to forget about it. So I think it's one of those positions where you could have a really short career and you could be out of the league in no time.
That's right. A lot of people flip in and out. David, what you got back there? Don't take mine.
I don't know what yours is.
I know you don't, but I'm just telling you not to take it.
I really like the goalie answer. Closing pitcher is great as well. I'm trying to think of, man.
Obviously, I think a quarterback is the most difficult in team sports position to play because there's so much you have to know and know what's going on in a short period of time.
I feel like you got to take that one off the table.
Yeah. That's just a whole different level. Yeah.
All right, I'll say quarterback. No. Man, you know what? I'm trying to think of one, and so I'm going to go with cornerback.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Football, because you got to be fast as all get out. You got to be able to stop on a dime, and you got to be able to cover freak athletes as well as be a freak athlete. So I'll go with cornerback just because I'm not thinking of anything better.
That's a great one, especially, and you've got to be willing to get beat a lot of the times and let touchdowns scored on you, and you got to be resilient. But I'm gonna keep it in the football category and say a kicker, because you're either the hero or you're the GOAT. Everybody either loves you or they hate you. And mechanically, it may not be the most difficult thing, but situationally, I think it's one of the most difficult positions in sports. What do you guys think about that?
Kicker's a tough one. Yeah, that's one job I would never want.
The gambler in me hates kicking. So
Alan, good call.
Yeah, it makes and breaks a lot of bets. That's for sure.
Yeah, when it comes to the mental pressure, for sure, it's got to be up there. But man, it's just hard for me to say that one.
Yeah, I hear you. It's also hard for them to tackle when they kick it off in the field and they beat everybody, and then you gotta lay the one guy out.
Though. That's a good point too. And when you think about the pressure that really mounts when they're about to kick a game-winning kick,
look at the Ohio State kicker.
Whatever. Oh yeah,
he makes that kick. We're not talking about Georgia being a dynasty. We're talking about Ohio. The Big Ten finally beat the SEC in a meaningful game.
Yeah,
but
TCU probably only loses by 20 at that point.
Yeah, no, exactly. Yep. Probably. Something like that. But, great stuff. Anybody else has one out there, give us a call. We can take 2 calls at once. That is for sure. I want to, while I got Alan on the line, I was going to save this, but I'm going to bring it up. I always, of course, talk about Brock Purdy being a big Niners fan and just being a big fan of Brock Purdy. I talked, was it earlier? It was probably last week. I was talking about kind of that I had an epiphany, not an epiphany, but I read something, Alan, that kind of made sense to me why Trey Lance probably won't get any action this year. because there's too many question marks, and this is arguably one of the best teams they've had in a long time. And do you risk developing Trey Lance in lieu of some guy that you've already known that can be? And this is where I'm going with this as well. Everybody is like, Brock Purdy, what did he show us? He won 8 games in a row. Who knows what happens in the NFC Championship game? But when he was at Iowa State, a lot of people don't realize he was I know it's Iowa State, it's the Big 12, but it's still football. He was a 4-year starter there from 2018 to 2021, and back in 2020, they ended up being at the highest ranked number 9 in the AP poll, and they beat Oregon in the Fiesta Bowl and went 9-3 that year and won the Big 12. Now, my point to that is when he left, and the first year after Brock Purdy left, under Matt Campbell, they went 1-8 in the conference, and prior to that, they were 5-4. They were 6-3, 5-4, 8-1, and 5-4. The year he leaves, they go to 1-8. He was a true freshman of the year. He won the offensive player of the year in the 2020 Fiesta Bowl. He was the Big 12 Sportsman of the Year. He was first team All Big 12 in 2020 and 2021. So with all that being said, it's not surprising, I guess. I even listened to a lot of scouts and people when he started doing well for the Niners and said this he was just overlooked because of the team he was on, but he makes an impact on what he does, and that was very apparent there at Iowa State. Again, I know it's the Big 12. I know the competition's a little different, but 4 years starting and that kind of stuff. And who knows, Trey Lance could be unbelievable. He could be the next Cam Newton. Probably not. He just doesn't have the reps. But I get why that Brock Purdy is the guy, because there's so much on the line this season, and it's a gamble potentially with Trey. And Alan, since I got you on the line, I'd just love to hear your thoughts on that.
Oh, man, this is my favorite football topic.
I know.
It really just, where do I start? First of all, I personally think that the Brock Purdy Iowa State thing falls more on Breece Hall. I think people forget that was his running back, and Breece was an absolute monster. And so Breece left in 2021, and I think that's what really hurt them, because Matt Campbell had them basically offensively just being a ground and pound team with simple play action throws,
which plays so well into what he's doing now in the NFL.
Yeah. And I was more shocked that he was Mr. Irrelevant, not that he's had success in the NFL, because Brock Purdy came out with, he came into college with a little bit of hype. He wasn't like a nobody. Yeah. And like you mentioned, he did have success as a game manager at the level. And I don't think NFL scouts really care if you're Big 12 or whatnot. I think that's more fan base.
Yeah.
So I thought that, he had shown enough in college that he should have been drafted higher. At one point, before the COVID year, Brock Purdy was being mentioned as a top quarterback in college football, along the lines with Justin Herbert and names like that, literally at one point. So for him to be Mr. Relevant was crazy. I think what it comes down to, when he got on the Niners and when he played in preseason, the first thing I said is that this guy gets the system.
Yep.
And the biggest thing you have to do in the Kyle Shanahan system when you're passing the ball is throw the ball on time and do it consistently. Jimmy Garoppolo could throw the ball on time from time to time, but he was not consistent.
Yep.
And when it hit us the most is when you play against these teams like the Chiefs and like some of these other offenses that can really drive the ball. We have to keep up.
Yeah.
And Brock Purdy understands the offense. That's the biggest difference. Talent-wise, Trey Lance is more talented.
Oh, 100%.
His ceiling is definitely higher, but he doesn't understand the offense. Brock Purdy rejuvenated Kittle's career. It's once we got a quarterback that understood how to make the reads, it's we got playmakers again.
Yeah.
Ayuk is on the field doing his thing. Debo's doesn't have to run the ball 20 times to get involved in the offense. It just makes everything so much better. So I don't think you can make a case to go back to the Trey Lance experiments. If he goes somewhere else and he develops into something even half of Cam Newton, that's great. I don't think his projection or trajectory is Cam Newton-like at all.
No.
I think it would be more of a NFL version of Vince Young, if anything. And what I see in Brock Purdy, you can win with Brock Purdy.
Oh,
Brock Purdy can manage the game. He's not going to turn the ball over. He understands the offense. He's going to get the ball into the playmakers' hands. And Jesus, as a Niners fan, that's all we're asking.
Yeah.
Just get the ball to the playmakers. So it's unfortunate that we even traded away half of our first-round picks for Trey Lance. I thought that was stupid. We should have got Justin Fields, and that is why I'm going to punch Kyle Shanahan in the face and not force him.
Yes, there you go. All that being said to get to that point. But yeah,
Yes.
and and you sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. That's for sure. But luckily, the Purdy situation kind of, I'm not going to say made up, but so to speak, made up a little bit for burning all those draft picks to trade up to get Trey Lance. And like you said, I mean, Brock Purdy, he chose Iowa State over Alabama, Texas A&M, Illinois, and UCF. He was a 3-star, but he was the number 10 player overall in Arizona coming out and the 24th best pro-style quarterback coming out of high school. So as you mentioned, he was no slouch when it comes to coming out of to high school football. But you nailed it. Kyle Shanahan's system is all about getting playmakers open. And when your playmakers are open, you have to hit them in time. And when you hit them in time, that's why their yards after catch are just phenomenal, because the separation they have when they're receiving the football is huge, and that's what makes stuff happen. And I think this year Debo as well is going to have a monster year, because last year I think he even recognized himself looking at his own film that he didn't look that great out there.
Yeah, and I think people got to understand, like, I love the NFL, and I'm not saying that I'm on their level when it comes to intellect, but the system and like Kyle's system is simple. So is McVay's system, because it's from the same tree. And when they're moving people in motion, it just becomes a numbers game. Like, they move a guy over to the left to make you get 3 against 4 and stuff like that. Like, they're just splitting the field. But the key to the Niners passing attack, and it's why we stopped Miami and Tua so successfully, is because you want to focus on the hash mark. If you ever watch the Niners offense, they're trying to get guys running towards the hash and hit them in stride going in between the hash. That little, like, 3 to 5 yard window is where they want to get the pass off, because in today's game, like, spacing is such a big deal on offense. There's so many people playing man-to-man now instead of zone, that when you get people running across the field, it just creates more space for your athletes. And so they'll do the hash motions. If they take that out, they'll flare somebody out the backfield and get them in even more space, because you can't really do much with the guy coming out the backfield. And I think that's part of his genius, is that he's figured that out. It's just him calling the game to score points that really irks us.
Yes, and go for the points instead of, go for the bigger points instead of the. Yeah. Oh man, that's certainly the front. He's such a good play caller, but he's so damn conservative so much. And hopefully this year he realizes that, look, this may be not your last opportunity, but probably your best opportunity to get the 6th Lombardi Trophy for the franchise. That's for sure, because they're not going to be able to keep all these guys together going into next year. That's for sure.
Yeah, the window is closing, and that's for a lot of teams, man. If you're not willing to go for it, you're not going to win. Winning football now is going for it on 4th and 1, 4th and 2, or 4th and 3. Hell, even 4th and 5 from your own 30, Frank Wright. Like, that's what you got to do to win football now, because the athletes are so dynamic. It's hard to stop somebody and hold them to under 21 and think you're still going to win a football game. It just doesn't work anymore.
It's just not the league anymore. That's for sure. Yeah, the Bill Belichick Patriots back in the day, Bill being a Patriots fan sitting in here in studio with me, that's just not football anymore. It's just,
defense is gone.
Yeah.
You got, Bill's in the studio. He's a Patriots fan?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Bill, come on, bro. Zappy. You guys got to play 100%. My guy, Zappy.
Oh.
Yes. Zappy's my guy.
I was so pumped for that Bears game last year. There was the Monday Night Football, and Mac Jones got put back in. I'm like, it's just, he's one pick away from Zappy going back in. Man, Zappy back-to-back TDs, too, and then just he fell apart.
I even had a hashtag, man. Every time he do something, I tell people they got zapped. I was like,
like that one.
You got zapped.
Yeah. Well, I heard that with Billy O'Brien back up there as the OC now, they said they're going to give Zappy a fair shake. So
yeah, and Bill as the OC was fine, man. Like, and I know a lot of people don't read into this stuff, but Zappy is a degenerate, like, saint, man. He's along the lines of Colt Brennan when it comes to people who gamble and bet overs. Zappy in college was money, man. And seeing him get a chance in the league and seeing how he operated made me very happy, man. Like, he's a great story for the little guy, and I hope Bill sees it, man, because that offense was so much better with him.
It was much more entertaining versus the slog of one Mac Jones.
David's behind the glass being the Alabama guy is. He's like, what the hell are y'all talking about?
Well, no. It's the correlation of Bill O'Brien with Mac Jones. That's why I'm like, I mean, maybe Zappy will get the fair shake that he deserves, but I will say that he's definitely entertaining, Zappy is. I enjoy watching.
Just a great name.
Yeah.
Oh, I know they brought O'Brien in for Mac Jones, but I think this is the last year for Mac Jones.
Hey, we'll see about it. I'm fine with it.
He's a little shell-shocked, man. He holds the ball too long. That's hurting him in the league.
Yeah.
But it could be that his offensive coordinator was Judge and Patricia.
That I don't fault him on. That was
that's tough. Hey, we do have to jump at a break because we got to go ahead with our high-low contest. Alan, we appreciate you always, and I can't wait for football season. You just got me even more fired up than I was before. So we'll continue these conversations, that's for sure. We appreciate you as always.
Yeah, take care.
All right, thanks, Alan. All right, coming up, we got the we're looking for that 10th caller. You're going to have an opportunity to play high-low, and you got to guess how many gourmet potatoes with tasty toppings did the break room on Joan Ave serve last weekend. If you've been listening, you kind of have an idea where this is going to, but it's a number between 50 and 100. We'll be taking the 10th call at 850-215-6290. When we come back, we'll play some high-low. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida presents The Blast at Bay Point. Listen to Win Your Tea Time at the legendary Bay Point Golf Club in beautiful Panama City Beach.
You ready to play some high-low?
I'm going to try.
Listen weekdays at 8:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to play high-low for a chance to win 18 holes at Bay Point Golf Club.
I tell you what, you're going to enjoy it. You're going to love it.
Listen to Win the Blast at Bay Point from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Living on the Gulf Coast, we have beautiful beaches, clear water, and amazing marine life. Want to bring a piece of the ocean into your home or office with an amazing aquarium? Gulf Coast Aquarium, the area's only certified platinum CCHEM dealer. Their staff are all certified CCHEM specialists. Gulf Coast Aquarium can install, design, maintain, and finance your own piece of the Gulf. Gulf Coast Aquarium, powered by CCHEM, with over 40 years as a U.S.-based manufacturer of quality aquarium products. Online at GulfCoastAquarium.com. Gulf Coast Aquarium, where it's more than just a tank.
Hi, this is Matt Lewis with Reliable Hydraulic Solutions. We offer comprehensive diagnostics and repair service for all types of hydraulic units, such as hydraulic and pneumatic cylinders, hydraulic pumps, motors, and valves, as well as a broad range of hydraulic hoses and O-rings. Give us a call at Reliable Hydraulic Solutions at 850-326-3000 for any of your hydraulic needs. Or come see us on Commercial Drive off Jinx Avenue in Panama City.
Take your next adventure in an award-winning Kia from Bill Bird Kia. The SUV family has movement that inspires, and we invite you to test drive the new 2023 Kia Soul, Seltos, Sportage, Sorento, or Telluride. You can command the road in a sedan from Bill Bird Kia. Drive away today in a new 2023 Rio, Forte, K5, or Stinger, and discover the all-new Kia at Bill Bird Kia. 2435 East 15th Street, Panama City, or anytime at BillBirdKia.com. Peace of mind you can trust at your local community dealer, Bill Bird Kia.
We're starting fresh.
Fresh when you start.
Locally sourced, Farm to Radio. The Inside Drive with Ryan Mulvey is live and local. From the Bill Kramer Chevrolet Buick GMC and Kramer Marine Outdoor Studios. On ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back. You're listening to the Inside Drive live here on ESPN Northwest Florida. We do have our 10th caller on the line who's about to play high-low, having to guess how many gourmet potatoes with tasty toppings did the break room on Joan Ave serve last weekend. Bobby, you on the line?
Yeah.
Hey, Bobby, how are you?
Good.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for calling in. What is your guess there, for how many gourmet potatoes with tasty toppings did the break room on Joan Ave serve this past weekend?
55.
David?
That is
too low.
Just a little low there, Bobby, but we appreciate you calling in and listening. Before we, right when we get off the line with you, make sure you stay on the line. David will have a consolation prize for you. We do a large bag of range balls out there at Bay Point that you will win. Have you played golf with us out there at Bay Point before?
Yes.
Okay, awesome. What's your favorite sport to watch?
Right now it's golf. But
Ooh.
during the season, pro football.
There you go. Who's your favorite pro football team?
You're going to hate me, man. New England Patriots.
Oh, no. I have nothing against the Patriots. And Bill, who's in studio with me, he's our assistant golf professional out there at Bay Point. He is a huge New England Patriots fan coming up from the Connecticut area. So
Go Pats, man.
There you go. And we were just talking, you probably heard right before you called in, talking about Brady Zappi, or Bailey Zappi, sorry.
Brady
Tom
Zappi.
Brady. Tom
Whoa.
Brady.
Brady.
But anyway, they said that there's never been a truer competition between Patriots quarterbacks in the offseason, according to Jared Dunn.
I believe it.
Yeah. So if you had to choose one, who are you going with?
Probably going to go with Mac Jones. He just needed a little bit of seasoning, and I think he's going to do well this year.
Yeah, absolutely. A little bit of seasoning on there, and hopefully O'Brien being back up there. But if he gets the gig, how short a leash do you think he'd have out there if he starts throwing some big interceptions again?
I think they'll start him out, really have a tight leash on him, and then see where he goes and how he goes. But if he doesn't cut it, you always got Bailey.
That's true.
2 weeks.
Good. 2 weeks for the Patriots fan. It's Zappy
right.
Fever. Zappy Fever. But
Yes,
you said you're watching golf right now. Who's your favorite professional golfer? I'm not even going to get into the PGA Live debate because I don't know where everybody falls there.
It's hard to say. I'm not an avid fan, but just from watching, I like the guys that are up there at the top right now.
Yeah, Scotty Scheffler, John Rahm, those kind of guys.
Right.
And Ricky Fowler coming back with a resurgence there, finally getting his dub after a little drought there for 2019.
That was nice.
That was exciting to see, that's for sure. And then you got the Scottish Open coming up this week, and then next week it's the final major of the year already, which when
that's right.
Final the major year happens, you know what's right around the corner, and that's college and pro football. But we'll be talking a lot about football as we get closer to August, really breaking down all the fantasy football, daily betting, parlays, all that good stuff. We've got some really good experts that call in with us and really know their stuff.
Great. I can't wait.
Yes.
We're getting there.
Oh, yeah. It's literally, I think it's 47 days now to college football, so add another 10 on top of that for NFL. September 9th, I believe, is the first NFL game.
Yeah.
There we go.
Exactly.
But, Bobby, stay on the line. David's going to get your information and he'll tell you how to get that large bag of range balls, and we appreciate you listening to the Inside Drive, and we appreciate you calling in.
Thanks.
Thank you, sir. Have a great rest of your day. All right, do not forget, I'm going to plug it one more time, do not forget about the Goat of Goats competition. We are trying to make sure Caddyshack gets to the Final Four, Bill. So just check out the ESPN Northwest Florida Facebook page. You can scroll down and see where David shared on there the Goat of Goats contest. It's a Google Doc. You can vote as many times as you want. Just recapping, you've got Remember the Titans versus Waterboy in the Elite Eight. You've got Caddyshack versus The Sandlot. Again, I love Sandlot. Fantastic movie. I really have been saying since we've been talking about it with these guys that I think Caddyshack is going to make a deep run in this thing. So we're trying to bring it to the championship. And then you got Happy Gilmore and Major League and Karate Kid versus the entire Rocky franchise. What's your favorite Rocky movie if you had to pick one?
I always like the original.
The OG.
Yeah.
That's a franchise where I think the original was certainly the best. Just because it wasn't repetitive to a certain degree, but it was kind of the same story each time. And then obviously they got further down the line, and when that newest Rocky movie came out with Apollo's son, right? I don't think I ever saw the newest
Creed, the new one.
Yeah. Is that the newest one?
I think so.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 of those now too.
Oh, there's 2 Creeds now too?
I think so.
Man, how is Karate Kid going to keep up with 17 movies?
You can't.
That's just tough.
Sweep the leg.
David, I'm still pushing Caddyshack hard over here.
Push it to the limit.
That's right.
I've just been voting Happy Gilmore this entire show.
I mean, you might as well. But they're going up against Major League, which is going to be a tough one. That is for sure. I wanted to jump into the NFL divisions, but I know we don't have a ton of time left today. But coming up tomorrow, don't forget, we got Keith Fleming. He's going to join us at 12 noon here in Central Time. He's a writer for Fantasy Six Pack, director for daily fantasy sports content for Fantasy in Frames, and host of 2 Off the Tee. We got the Scottish Open we'll be breaking down this week. I'm not even really sure what the PGA Tour event is, because a lot of the big-time guys go and play in that Scottish Open in preparation for the Open Championship at Royal Liverpool. Last time, 2014, was the last time they hosted it, and it was Rory McIlroy that won back there his Open Championship at Royal Liverpool many years ago.
That's feels more at home across the pond.
That's right. And that's what Royal Liverpool, I think, is in England, if I'm not mistaken.
That sounds right.
I don't think it's in Ireland.
Maps.
Over the pond. Favorite sporting event, not so. We talked about all sorts of stuff today. I really like the curling thing. When are we getting jerseys?
I'll have them mocked up by next time.
Perfect.
There we go. I'm stoked for some jerseys.
What was that good one we saw like a couple weeks back? Was the Mammoth?
Oh, yeah. It was, who was it?
Like a pro sports team?
It was lacrosse. It was
yes.
Yeah.
Yes, the Colorado, maybe?
Maybe.
Sounds about right.
That sounds about right. And David's got, they got their softball. What's your softball team again?
Oh, the Glizzy Boys.
The Glizzy Boys coming up, because we're talking about the Nathaniel's hot dog eating contest.
Yeah, the numbers on the back are going to be hot dogs. Hopefully we have like a little lettuce. What? Mustard, ketchup, and relish on the numbers, or maybe get the name done in relish or something.
Ooh, that'd be cool.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Love it.
Those are going to be awesome, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I'll get you guys to get me one too.
Well,
That'd be cool. It is the Colorado Mammoth Pro Lacrosse team.
I might almost just be voting Sandlot just to go against you right now.
I was about to say, I'm going to find out the 4 that Ryan doesn't want to win. I'm just going to push those for the next 2 hours from 4 to 6.
I'm fine. I'm really just on Caddyshack, because Rocky or Karate Kid, I don't really care.
Yeah.
What was it? Happy Gilmore and Major League. I'm good with either one on that one.
Dude, if it was like, and again, I'd have to look again at the bracket, but if it was Happy Gilmore versus Caddyshack for the win, Goat of Goats coming down to a golf movie.
The golf duel.
That would surprise me.
It would.
Especially at looking at it from the beginning, where it's like, all right, Remember the Titans is a bona fide Final Four movie.
Yeah.
And it might not make it to the Final Four.
That's the thing.
What do I know?
That's right. Everybody's got different opinions. Everybody likes different stuff. I'm excited about, I mentioned yesterday, I got Netflix back, and tomorrow, the 12th, that quarterback show comes out.
Yes.
That's going to be awesome. I don't know if you've seen the previews for that, but it's like Kirk Cousins, Patrick Mahomes, a couple other guys that they're kind of chronicling their lives on and off the football field. I think it's going to open a lot of people's eyes up and how much work and dedication that these guys put in to playing that position.
That's going to be a great one. I mean, Full Swing.
I haven't seen Full Swing yet, so I'm excited. Yeah, because I just got Netflix back. So I'm going to check out Full Swing, and then I'm excited when Full Swing 2 comes out, because the Live PGA Tour broke during them filming an episode of Full Swing.
I like how you led with Kirk Cousins as the quarterback.
Yeah, like Patrick Mahomes is all the fun.
Because it was in my brain, and that's what I was picturing in the promo video was Kirk Cousins.
Okay.
What's so funny about it is Marcus Mariota is one of the
Is he?
Get out of here.
Yeah.
Where is he now?
It's I think he's with the Eagles.
Yes, he's the backup for Hurts.
Yeah.
He was,
Which I think is a good pickup by them.
Smart, especially with Jalen, with a little injury-prone action there.
Yeah. Talking about understanding systems,
Right. Yeah, Mariota not understanding the Atlanta Falcons system. Although the Falcons beat the Niners last year.
Which is wild, though, because he came from, Arthur Smith, who's the head coach there for the Atlanta Falcons, was the tight ends coach, offensive coordinator for the Tennessee Titans when Mariota was there. So how did he not get the offense? But, hey, it's what it is. Yeah, so it's Patrick Mahomes, Kirk Cousins, and Marcus Mariota.
Oh, interesting.
It's just going to be so weird.
Really good? Okay. Big question marks.
Yeah.
But that's good, because you get a
full
little
sample.
You get a little bit of everything. Yeah. That's right. That's right.
I think that's the best part of it. Now that you if you look at it from that lens, Yeah, I want to real quick. Well, we got a few minutes left. Speaking of quarterbacks, the odds for your Heisman Trophy winner. Want to get y'all's thoughts on this. You got obviously the favorite. Everybody knows that's trying to win back-to-back Heismans. It's Caleb Williams from USC, and then Quentin Ewers is currently has the second best odds at plus 1,200 to win the Heisman. And then Jaden Daniels from LSU, Michael Penix Jr. is at Washington. Yeah, Washington.
And then you've got Bo Nix Nix, which I think Bo Nix could take a serious run at. If you looked at his stats, I know, when we used to talk about Bo Nix when he was an Auburn Tiger, he just wasn't, in a tough situation. But now that he's been on a big-time air raid style offense up there in Oregon, he's putting up some big numbers, and his stats last year were pretty spectacular. So I think he's at plus 1,800, and then you got Cade Klubnik, which this one I was going to ask you about. How does this one even make sense? And Linda's going to yell at me for saying this. How is he in there? He hasn't even played a full year, right?
He played like 4 games.
4 games coming in for what's-his-face, Uiagalelei.
And they barely even utilized him because it was like, well, let's run the ball. We don't want to, make ourselves look bad here by taking DJU out and throwing it. And everyone, all Clemson fans were calling for Cade Klubnik.
Yeah.
But he brought this hype around him, and I'm sitting there because I'm one of those people. If you hype up something a lot and it didn't do anything to deserve that
Victor
hype
Wembanyama.
necessarily, exactly. I just don't fall in line with those trends and stuff. So it's like everyone's so excited about him, and he threw how many passes? 4?
Yep.
I'm like, that's your quarterback, dude? Okay, whatever.
Solid 4 passes, though.
Yeah. Hey,
that's fair.
Percentages.
That's fair.
It's all about percentages.
And then with Bo Nix, Kenny Dillingham was the OC last year. He's with Arizona State now, so that's going to be an interesting facet of the game. And Michael Penix Jr., I think that's the guy.
That's the one,
If anyone's going to dethrone Caleb Williams, and then my long shot is going to be Brock Bowers. If Georgia's in close games this year and they utilize their entire roster for 4 straight quarters, Brock Bowers is just insane. Now, of course, I can hear you say tight end, Heisman, no chance, but he puts up huge numbers.
Huge numbers, and he's a game changer, that's for sure. So you got Caleb Williams is the overall favorite right now at plus 550. Quentin Ewers at plus 1,200. Jaden Daniels of LSU plus 1,400. Michael Penix Jr. up there in Washington. Tough things for guys out there playing the Pac-12, too, is you don't see him on TV as much because the game, especially in your heavy dominated Eastern time zone. And then both Bo Nix, Cade Klubnik, J.J. McCarthy, and Jordan Travis are plus 1,800. So all the same odds there. I think Jordan Travis has got a pretty legitimate shot as well for making a really good run at winning the Heisman.
Oh yeah, there's good value there at plus 1,800.
Plus 1,800, put a little $100 on that one.
I should have put a hundo on Vladdy Jr. winning. I'd be $450 richer right now.
No. That's just the one. I bet 3 of them, and he was not one that I bet. And I bet Rushman just because he was the highest odds. And when I watched him do what he did, I was like, yes, maybe he makes a run. And then Rodriguez hit. I was like, just kidding.
Yeah.
41 homers.
Almost.
That's a lot of home runs. In 3, or I guess that was 4 minutes.
4 minutes, technically, yeah.
Yeah, with some math on that.
Got to be gassed after that, though, because you could just see they use their legs for the first 20 home runs, and then it's all upper body.
The legs feed the wolf. That's what my JV hockey coach always told us. The legs feed the wolf.
It's a good one.
Which is true. Because if your legs run out, then the wolf gets eaten. We only got about 10 seconds left. Bill, thanks for hanging out today. It was some fun conversation here on the Inside Drive.
Always.
Coming up this afternoon is David Hayes and the Afternoon Underdogs from 4 to 6 p.m. We will see y'all tomorrow.
ESPN Northwest Florida is on location at Dave & Buster's. The Afternoon Underdogs are broadcasting live at Dave & Buster's Pier Park with half-price cocktails, half-price games, free Dave & Buster's game cards, and choice swag from ESPN Northwest Florida. Join David, Kyle, Amanda, Drew, and a cast of sports fanatics every Wednesday from 4 to 6 with fun and prizes at Dave & Buster's.